That's me! That's me! We're on the Nice Guy Indie Podcast, and I'm on fire already tonight! What about it? What about it, Johnny Lee?
That's right.
What about it, Big Beard Dudley?
Man, I'm feeling that energy, baby.
If you don't feel the energy, you're not watching the Nice Guy Indie Podcast. Now go on with the chlorophyll, please.
That's right. And also to my left here, we got the man, the myth, the legend, the only one with the 001 on his wrestling license, Dale Bass.
I think the speakers are about blown because Bobby Blade just said, there's a smell in here he was talking about earlier. Maybe that smell is because you just burned out one of our speakers.
I beg to differ, sir.
And not only that, but we got to Dale Bass's left, we got the man, the myth, the legend of KWF Wrestling. We got the Kentucky Wrestling Federation man himself, J.R. Rock, in the house.
What's up? Don't be stroking out over there, Bobby. You're getting a little too hyper tonight.
I can't help it. I'm on fire. I had a lot of sugar tonight, so you might see Cornholio come out.
Oh,
Yes.
Maybe that's what we're smelling.
So, guys,
Plus, you have Kentucky Hall of Famers.
that's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
There are 3 of them in this building right now.
And J.R. Rock
That's
was
right.
the last one going in.
Yes. That means nobody else. That was the last one. You heard what he said.
Exactly.
Oh, the mold is broke.
Exactly. Well, you know, the big news that I want to talk about tonight that we just found out today, Hulk Hogan. Who would have thought that we'd see today where Hulk Hogan, real American, lost his life?
I certainly didn't, expect that when I woke up this morning. Like him or hate him, he's very divisive. People are going to say what they're going to say. They're going to think what they're going to think. But you can't deny the impact that he had on professional wrestling as a whole. And I fully believe it's because of Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan and the onset of WrestleMania, and the product was able to go national, and it became very mainstream after that. And Hulk Hogan was the centerpiece of that. So you can't take that away from the man.
100%. I'm myself am very disappointed because Hulk Hogan just opened a store in Pigeon Forge. I was hoping to drive my happy ass down there and meet the man.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dale, your thoughts?
Well, when I saw it come across on my phone, my first thought was, it's spam. This can't be true. Hulk Hogan is 1 year older than me. No. He has a heart attack. Makes me kind of wonder about me.
Yeah.
I've been in for 50 years. I don't know how many years he's been in for.
I don't
But
think
he's only 1 year older than me.
I don't think you abused the steroids as much as he did.
Yeah, I think he started in 1979, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe.
I
Or
started-
maybe 77. I might be wrong on that.
Good evening, Joe Hamlin.
I started in 75.
Yeah.
I just can't believe it. I can't believe he's dead.
Yeah, I know it. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, like I said, I didn't expect to see it. I mean, Hulk Hogan is one of them people that, you either loved him or you hate him. One of the two. And, you didn't expect this news when you woke up.
I know I grew up watching him on all the VHS tapes when I was a kid.
Exactly.
I woke up sick. It's a normal day. I'm like, and then Dad told me Hulk Hogan. Like, what?
Yeah.
I thought it was spam. I thought this can't be
I
true.
did too.
Yeah.
It's just junk. And then as I looked at different sources, not looking for that reason, I looked at different sources, and all of a sudden there's Hulk Hogan being mentioned there, and Hulk Hogan being mentioned there, and I turn on Busted Open on Sirius Radio, and that's all they're talking about. Ted DiBiase is on there, and the Hebners are on there, and they're all talking about, Hogan's gone.
Well, you kept hearing Bubba the Love Sponge talk about, all this stuff and everything, about, hey, he was on his deathbed and he was in bad health and all that. And, you just kind of blew it off as like, well, that's, Bubba the Love Sponge. It's his mortal enemy, blah, blah, blah. You don't.
Yeah, their lawsuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you just thought he was blowing hot air, but, I mean, he must have known something,
What's up, Eric Montgomery?
Eric Rage.
Jimmy Walls is tuning in.
Jimmy Walls is tuning. He could be here in person with us, but he didn't. He decided not to come tonight because he was too busy crocheting.
Or was that needlepoint? It's one of the two.
Yeah, one of the two. He's crocheting his own panties, so he had to stay at the house.
Time Griffin said, hello,
Hey, Timmy.
Blade and JR.
Timmy, I want to ask you a
Bass.
question right now. Did you know that Rated X is a former 19-time MWA champion?
I thought it was 21.
It's 19.
19.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a quick story about Hulk Hogan. When I first started at backyard wrestling, before I adopted the moniker J.R. Rock, I was the Suckster instead of the Hulkster.
The what?
The
Nice.
Suckster. And I would come out with a Hulk Hogan wrestling buddy with a little noose around its neck and carry it to the ring with me.
That's great.
That is great.
I thought you did you say Suckster?
Yes.
Okay, I had a different thought come to my mind. I thought, no, you ain't gonna go to the wrestling ring. Look,
You remember when they did the Huckster versus the Nacho Man back at
that was
WrestleMania? That was
fantastic.
great. Yeah, that was great. Brother, at my age, my feet don't leave the ground.
Timmy said, "No, I didn't hear about that about Jimmy."
Well, just ask
X.
Jimmy; he'll tell you.
He's probably crocheting another championship belt right now.
his
You know
feet
what's
don't
really
leave the
surprising?
ground. That sounds like Bill Dundee.
So I was watching YouTube before the show. I expected me to see. I didn't know. Like I was watching YouTube, nothing about Hulk Hogan, nothing. But when another rapper died, it blew up all over YouTube.
Yep.
Well, I'm confused.
Yep.
I have seen a few talking about it, though.
I want to kind of transition a little bit here, and I want to acknowledge another person that passed away. Is a guy that was very instrumental in me getting started. His name was Cecil Voiles, and he wrestled under the name of Mr. Irresistible Terry Embry. And when I was first breaking in, he was the first guy to train me. He trained me and started using me on the SWA shows, and that kind of transitioned into some of the smaller promotions around the state and in neighboring states as well, like IWA up in Ohio, Bull Miller and all them. You know, it's not Ian Rotten IWA, but IWA with Bull Miller up there and, several other places and everything. And he, Cecil Terry Embry recently passed away just maybe about 2 to 3 weeks ago. And, if it wasn't for him and Jimmy Lamb getting me in and everything, I would probably never have been able to break into the wrestling business. I went on to be retrained by Dale TNT Man in 1994, and then everything else has been history. But because of Cecil Voiles and Terry Embry, I was able to get into the business and get my start. So, I just want to acknowledge his passing, and they had a funeral for him about a week ago, and week and a half ago, something like that. And he will be missed. So
Who knows what your history would have been if you didn't get in the wrestling business? You would have been there probably at Hills, working at Hills, and when that place closed, you might be where? White Castles?
maybe,
Maybe.
yeah,
Maybe. You wouldn't have Mrs. Blade falling around behind you.
well, that's true. That's true. But yeah, so I, Cecil, for I appreciate everything that you did for me and everything, and I know that you won't hear this, but I do appreciate you giving me my start in the wrestling business. So
That's right.
yeah.
R.I.P. to him.
And
Condolences,
you
Bobby, condolences. And Jimmy Lamb, when I see you, I'm going to slap you in the mouth for helping get him in the wrestling business. Just so you know.
We're all paid for that
and
one.
that brought you into the MWA.
Yeah.
Probably the greatest wrestling promotion underneath a couple of the greatest wrestlers / promoters of all time in the state of Kentucky.
Yeah,
That wasn't being backed by the big boys from up north.
Yeah.
Yep.
I came into the MWA in 1994, and like I said, I got in there and met Del Man. And because the way that I got into the MWA was Crusher Bones had started wrestling for the MWA earlier that year, right? And he calls me up one time, and he goes, "Hey, man, Dale wants you to come to Simpsonville tonight, man." And I'm like, "Huh?" He's like, "Yeah, come on to Simpsonville tonight." So I just went to Simpsonville, Kentucky, and he put me in there with Hitman Tony, and I had my first match in the MWA with Hitman Tony. And we had a good match. Wasn't a great match, but we had a good match. And he led me through it and everything. And Dale said, "Hey, you got a good attitude. You got a good head on your shoulders and everything. I'd like to, retrain you.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. He got me in there, retrained me, and showed me the traditional way to work and all that stuff. And that's where I got, my chops at. I think.
That's
So,
right.
Yeah.
A lot of people have come through the MWA.
Yeah.
Many of them starting. Many of them came in there, started somewhere else, but went into Dale Mann, and he retrained them, booked them. Thousands of people.
Yeah.
I showed up with Dale Mann, not in Georgetown, but back in probably 1975 when I first started. And it was 76, I think, when I first came to Georgetown, and there was a different promoter that was there at that time. But in time, Dale Mann brought in MWA, and he took over Georgetown. And there have been thousands of different people that have come in and wrestled in Georgetown for the MWA.
Yeah.
Thousands of names.
Where did Dale Mann start, and who trained him?
That I'm not sure of. Dale would have that information more than me.
He definitely would.
Trying to remember. I remember he told me.
He does more wrestling than.
Also, Chris Young said, "What's up, guys?"
Who is it?
Chris Young.
Oh, hey, Chris.
Yo, what's up?
As memory serves me, Dale Mann told me that, I don't know how it happened, but he was working. He first started working in Indianapolis for Dick the Bruiser, and I think he came from Dick the Bruiser, Wilbur Snyder's area.
So did Dick the Bruiser? Did he train Dale or have a hand in it?
I think Dale was there in Indianapolis in the very early stages of his wrestling business, and
Yeah.
I think that's where he really broke in to understand how to do it.
I love the Bruiser and the Crusher.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
definitely. Oh yeah, but people that are watching at home, if you don't know who Dale Mann was, his name was Dale TNT Mann, and he was a big, burly mountain man, and he was a big, scary individual, and you did not want to mess with him. And he has been just about everywhere, hasn't he, Dale?
He's like 6'3", 6'4", solid, very stocky, very thick. He wasn't super muscular, but you knew he had power in everything he did.
Barrel-chested.
Yeah.
Barrel-chested.
With buckskin shoes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Super great guy. He was able to take a shy, skinny kid, which would be me. You know, I'm not shy anymore, and I'm definitely not skinny anymore. Don't laugh about that, JR. But he took a chance on a shy, skinny kid, and trained me the right way, and got everything flowing there and everything the way it's supposed to be. Kept using me. He put me in a faction with Billy Joe Travis and beautiful Bobby J, who was also Surfing Sammy. Jack Peg was his real name. But
out of Nicholasville.
He passed away too, like in 2000. I didn't know that until Trippin' Balls told me that.
So many have come and gone and passed away.
Yeah.
Billy Joe Travis is gone.
Yeah, Billy Joe Travis died in 2004.
A while ago.
Yeah, but I was in a faction with Billy Joe Travis and did a angle and program with him for going on 4 months. That I wrestled Billy Joe Travis, lost to him. The next week, Bobby J wrestled Billy Joe Travis, lost to him. Well, the next week, Billy Joe Travis challenged Dale Mann for a run at the title. Dale said, we're friends, we don't have any friction, all that stuff. So he Billy Joe turned heel on Dale and ended up bringing me and Bobby J as his lackeys, his understudies is what he called us. So this whole time, we're pretty much his bump guys, his bumpers, And so we're doing the deal with Dale. He's chasing Dale. Well, finally, I ended up wrestling Dale and getting beat. And then the next week, Bobby J wrestled Dale and got beat. And then it led to ultimately Billy Joe Travis wrestling Dale in a series of 2 matches back to back. And they had very good matches. One of them, the last one was Loser Leave Town, and they did the deal where Billy Joe lost. Then he beat up us.
You mentioned about you being the skinny kid there in the MWA.
Yeah.
You weren't the skinny kid. Wolfman.
Oh, Wolfman. Yeah.
Okay. Outlaw West.
Yeah.
Those 2 guys, compared to you were thick and big.
Yeah.
Those guys were skinny. Those guys were small. Outlaw West had his butt handed to him just about every time he ever stepped in the ring. But if you ask him, go out there and wrestle, he don't care who it is, he'd go out there and give it all.
Yep.
And the Wolfman, he was a character.
Yeah.
And he could win.
Yeah.
He knew how to win.
Yeah, Wolfman could really go, man. He could get a lot of heat, and he would do it without using gimmicks or anything like that. You know, well, he would eventually, but you know.
He always had gimmicks.
Yeah.
But I mean, he had a big old shaggy beard, shaggy hair.
Yep.
Wore a like an animal print vest, and then it was like cut off jean pants or shorts.
It went down to about his knees.
Yeah,
or
went
something.
down. Yeah, and he had a rope belt around his waist and everything, and you know, he was a character, and you know, people loved to hate him. They loved to hate him. He was
Tripping
great.
Ball said, "New Wolfpack,
The
New World Wolfpack."
New World Wolfpack. Yeah, yeah.
perfect picture of the Wolfman is on the Kentucky Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. Shows his hair, his beard, his jacket, his vest, everything like that.
Has he got the bone
And-
or something with him? Or
I don't recall if he had the bone with him. I think he had something in his hand in the picture. But I heard a couple of years ago, and he was on Facebook. I actually friended him, but I don't remember what his shoot name is right now. But he lost the beard and he lost the hair.
really?
Imagine Wolfman with no beard, no hair. That ain't the Wolfman.
Yeah. no,
Especially after you've known him for so long as the Wolfman.
Yeah. You talked about Outlaw West as well. Outlaw West, you know, like you said, he didn't care who he went out there with.
He
would
wanted
go
out there.
And yeah, and he wanted out there. He wanted to wrestle, and he would go out there and have the, you know, best match that he could to the best of his abilities. And
He went out there like a bandied rooster.
yeah,
You know, the way he'd walk around. He walked around, you thought he was $1 million man.
yeah, yeah. And he was always nice to me too. Hitman Tony, he was always really good to me. You know.
Became a trainer.
Yeah, he actually, you know, he had him and Phil Dillon and Rockin' Ronnie Travis and Outlaw. They all had, you know, and Dale, they all had a hand in retraining me and everything. And it was great, man. It was the kind of stuff that you would hear about, like the Dungeon and Stu Hart, was the way it was when I was retraining up there. And it was really great, man. I mean, you know, I really owe those guys a lot. Rowdy Red, he was another one that had his hand in retraining me as well.
Well, the glory years of MWA, way back in the mid-'70s. From the mid-'70s on, it was at the Georgetown Convention Center, also called the Horse Park, and it had several different names. They had a flea market that was there on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And when we ran our Sunday shows, we had to wait for them to close the flea market, and everybody had to get out. And then there was like a dozen people that would quickly grab the ring, which was underneath the stage, pull the ring out, and quickly assemble the ring, shut the doors, and if the place was not open yet and the ring was up, training.
Well, Bobby, JR Rock said, "What's up, JR?
What's up?
What's up?" Del Bass, Jake Ratliff, once again, has left out a Bobby Blade.
Who is it?
Jake Ratliff, he said, "What's up, JR? What's up, Dale?"
What's up, Jake? What's up, buddy?
Good wrestler. Very
I
good
don't
wrestler.
see what's up, Bobby.
Keep sticking to the blade.
Yeah. Where's Bobby
He
Blade?
put you
I
over
thought
the
we was
last-
like this. I didn't know we was like this.
He was putting you over the last time you were on.
He
I know what changed. What changed, Jacob?
He's probably got one hand up, but it's the
He
one
got
finger
that
salute.
gold around his waist. He's a changed man now.
I know.
That's true.
I know. That's what happened.
Proud of you, brother.
Johnny
You got that
Gunther said, "What's up,
championship belt."
guys?"
Hey, what's up?
Johnny?
What's up?
Dale, you were talking about wrestling at Convention Center. I wrestled there one night, and I don't know if Bobby remembers or not, but he was my manager.
I don't.
Oh, come on, Bobby.
I try to block it
You
out.
really held
Bobby
it.
was my man. I had an entourage. I had Bobby Blade, I had Mean Gene, and I had Siren, I believe it was.
No,
Siren.
it would have been Lady Perfection
Lady
at that
Perfection,
time. Yeah.
okay. So that was my entourage down in Georgetown at the Convention Center.
Yeah, that was we were doing that was for PTW, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
PTW. I do remember that now.
Yeah.
Crap.
Gene had a cast, I think, at the time. He had a broken arm. or
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah, Gene was cool, man. I like Gene.
Yeah, I
he
like
really went. He went hard.
Yeah,
a
Gene
lot,
was a
man.
good dude,
Yeah. MWA. We were talking about Outlaw West, man. I mean, Outlaw West. He would have the best match that he's capable of.
About 140 pounds.
Yeah, maybe 150. But man, he could go. Rockin' Ronnie Travis was another guy that could really go.
5'1", 5'2",
Yeah, and skinny guy.
but could work.
Man, he could work. Yeah, Rowdy Red was awesome. There's nobody that can convince me that Rowdy Red doesn't deserve some kind of an accolade here in the state of Kentucky.
The greatest walk to the ring, the way he strides.
Yep. He wore a pair of bright red pants, a white button-up shirt, and a pair of red suspenders. And he's got red hair and then like a little red mustache.
Yeah.
And he would, he'd stick his chest out and everything, take some strides. And then he would go in there and have the best match on the show. I seen him work with Chris Michaels.
Oh, he could work anybody.
Yeah, he was working with Chris Michaels and would have killer matches with him. He would work with Hitman Tony and killer matches with him.
Nice.
Everybody that was in there with, I think he wrestled Dundee one night, and they had an awesome match. And, Rowdy Red deserves every accolade he can get, and I kind of feel like he kind of falls by the wayside as far as like the fans remembering him, because he was such a great talent.
He was.
And people seem to forget about him. I feel the same way about Hitman Tony and Phil Dillon as well,
Did Rowdy Red help train Calvin Smith?
Yes.
I thought he did.
And Larry Jones as well.
Yeah.
We had a ton of people that worked for the MWA that didn't work for anybody else around in the area.
Yeah.
So that could be part of the reason why people like Rowdy Red, he was known MWA, but he wasn't known for all the other wrestling circuits. His name didn't get out there.
Well, I want to say about 4 or 5 years ago when I was wrestling in Frankfurt at KPW, they're like, oh, we're going to bring Rowdy Red in. I was like, he don't wrestle anymore. They're like, oh, yeah, this guy. And they showed me a picture. I said, that's not Rowdy Red.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I heard
I
about
said, I don't know who that guy is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there's probably about like 50 Rowdy Reds out there.
I've heard
but
at
still.
least 2.
Yeah.
I've heard at least 2.
Yeah, there's another one in Kentucky that's nowhere near as good as what James Tutter was,
That's right.
And, Rowdy Red, Hitman Tony, Phil Dillon, Young Gun Phil Dillon, he was awesome. Rockin' Ronnie Travis was awesome. The Stallion, Billy Marino, he was one of the great main event guys there. Barroom Brawler, Doug Vines, he was awesome, You had fabulous Danny Fargo. You had the Super Stud and Crusher Bones, the Graveyard Shift. They were a top tag team there, I mean, just so many names came through the MWA. And the thing is, too, is I keep putting this over, and I'm sorry if I'm talking so much.
Hey, it's all right.
Just cut me off whenever you feel like it, Dale. Not you, JR. But the MWA was so much more than just Georgetown. There was so many other places all throughout Kentucky and the surrounding states that the MWA ran shows at, and we did great at all of them, at just about all of them. And then we would go out west every year. And I was fortunate enough, I went on the very last Out West tour in 94, right? And that was great. And it was very scaled back and all that stuff, so it wasn't nowhere near the same scale as, prior years.
That's right.
But, it was great, man. It was more than just Georgetown. People keep talking about, MWA was just, once a week in Georgetown. No, it wasn't. It was way more than that, And also, too, I mean, I forgot where I was going with this.
Well, he probably ran 3 or 4 times a week other than just Georgetown.
Yeah.
I mean, he was from Hazard and everything around Hazard, and then stretched that all the way to Paducah area. It was like every town in between, Elizabethtown, Shelbyville. I mean, he was all over running spot shows every month.
Well, you could say a generation of people, their whole experience with MWA was Mount Sterling, and another whole era of people whose experience was Winchester. So several different places.
Yeah, there was several, really good eras of the MWA. I think, too, though, that the people that didn't experience the MWA in Georgetown, especially in the 90s when it was really hot, in the 80s, like, because you were there.
In the building, 600 plus of people standing outside the bay doors.
Yeah, no matter who was on the card.
Yeah.
And it was every single show it was packed like that. But, I mean, if you didn't experience the MWA in Georgetown, you really missed out on a lot. I mean, you could talk about the Mount Sterling years, and I know for, a lot of people that represents what the MWA is. And, for a lot of people near the end, the Winchester era represented what the MWA was as well. But for
all
me...
those were different promoters, too.
Yeah. Well, for me, the best eras of the MWA were in Georgetown for Dale Mann and Danny Fargo. And I don't think, anything can touch that. I mean, at one point we had Carl Anderson, wrestling there as Chad Allegra. You had Jillian Hall. You had Rob the Bomb Williams. You had Wildcat Chris Harris. You had Prince Justice, who went on to become the Monster Abyss. You had Angel and Suicide. You had me. You had Rated X. You had Paul Diamond. You had Andy Anderson. You remember him?
Yeah.
From Canada. He was there. Tracy Smothers was a regular on the show. Every single show.
Bobby Fulton.
It was great, man. It was great, and nobody could touch that roster from that era. I don't think.
Timmy Griffith said, "That's right."
Okay, I'll agree with him.
Well, when I showed up in Georgetown, there was a different promoter there called Bobby Steele from La Follette, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he left, Bulldog Cliff Lilly came in,
Mm-hmm.
and he was running on Sundays. And then when Dale Mann came into the area, Dale was running that building on Thursdays. And he started with a smaller crowd than Bulldog Cliff Lilly did. After about 2 shows, Dale Mann had the bigger house, and people started leaving Bulldog Cliff Lilly to go join Dale on Thursday. And then Cliff Lilly pulled out. Dale immediately moved up to Sundays. He took over Sundays, and he took just about all the wrestlers from what Bulldog Cliff Lilly had, added them along with his roster of workers, and we started having our shows going from 200, 300, 400, building them on up to standing room only 600 plus every Sunday night. So one night you might... he would bring in individual stars, like we would have the Sheik would come down. He'd be there 2 or 3 weeks later. We'd see Bobo Brazil. 2 or 3 weeks later, Wild Bull Curry was there. Abdullah the Butcher showed up one time. And we had name wrestlers that would come in like once a month. And we kind of looked at Georgetown during that time, during the mid-late 70s, when we were packing in 600 people. We referred to us as we were the Madison Square Garden of the South for Sunday nights.
Yep.
No
That's
matter,
right.
in Kentucky, when it was Sunday nights, the promotion was Georgetown MWA.
Yep.
That's where the top talent was.
Yep. I fully agree with that, man. It was a great time. I mean, even in the 90s when, I started over there, it was amazing.
And you missed a lot
I
when
missed
you
a lot.
came in the 90s.
Yeah, I missed a lot by the time I came in over there. But still, I got to see so much from the time that I got there all the way to that, because, we were using Memphis guys on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. When they weren't, didn't have anything going on down in Memphis or something like that, they'd come up to us, and work with us and all that. So we worked with a lot of those Memphis guys and everything on a regular basis, and it was great.
I was Dale's partner there in Georgetown a couple different times. And then Danny Fargo bought in, and then I became Danny Fargo's partner for a while. And so I was partners with whoever the promoters were that was in there, because I lived in Georgetown, so I was out putting up the signs, the posters, handling the newspaper, getting the publicity out. I just became partners of Dale Mann, and then it was Danny Fargo. But there came a time when, before Danny Fargo days, there came a time when Dale Mann said, "We got some new people coming in next week." Okay. Next week showed up. I walked up back in the dressing room, took a look. There's Randy Savage and Leaping Lanny and Doug Vines and Angelo Poffo, Hustler Rip Rogers. I mean, it's all of ICW wrestling before ICW wrestling started. Mm-hmm. And George Weingroff, and you know the story on George Weingroff about how blind he is.
Yeah, he's legally blind.
It's just a miracle he can see past 2 feet. And yet he gets out there and when he puts his hands on you, he ties you into a knot. But we had so many name people. And then we had all these ICW people there with our MWA people, and we were drawing 600 plus every Sunday night. Yeah. Main events of Dale Mann versus Randy Savage. And then we had the big one with Randy Savage versus Danny Fargo. And that was one of the big ones of all time when those two guys went out there, and, it was like double count out, come back the next week, double count out, come back the next week, double count out. They just, those were the days. I gave Bobby Blade a list from the Kentucky Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame.
He did.
And on that list is the wrestlers that are MWA. And I believe he just held it up and showed, and would you say there's maybe 60 names down on that list?
Something like that. I'm looking for it here. I got the Kentucky Hall of Fame list.
That's not it?
I
Well,
think I
Bobby,
got-
once you
Here we
started
go.
MWA, you were there all the way till the end, and they
thought
closed the
that was
doors,
it.
weren't you?
I was there. Here he goes.
They're almost to the end.
Yeah, I was there until 2012. I was there for 18 years straight.
Oh, this is the list.
Yep.
ain't it?
No, that's the Hall of Fame list.
Yeah, that's the list I was referring to.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he can read you now a list of the names that were MWA that came through during probably a 20-year period, from the 70s through the 80s through the 90s.
You want me to just do that, read those?
Yeah,
Go
we can
ahead.
discuss about the ones that you see on there. And these
All
are
right.
the people that's in the Kentucky Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame.
All right, here we go. Y'all ready for this? Do 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 do. Oh, different. Are you ready for this?
You
I
can
thought
do
that
it.
was Pac-Man.
No, Pac-Man is like.
Yeah.
Leave it to him to know, right?
Oh,
He got talent.
Man, come on, you know that.
I don't spend my time playing games, but now we know what Lone Wolf does.
Oh, he's got hundreds of them, Dale. Hundreds.
He rages at Mario too.
Let me confirm this with Dale before I start reading. Is that the MWA list?
Of MWA workers that are currently in the Kentucky Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Okay, here we go. All right, currently in the Kentucky Hall of Fame from the MWA, J.R. Rock, Amazing Maria, Lone Wolf Bobby Blade, Sexy Sean Casey, Debbie Combs.
Now, is there any here you want to discuss as you go down through?
Oh, I can.
Make any comments pertaining to some of the people you've seen in there? Because
Yeah.
you saw Amazing Maria's name is on there.
Yep.
And she is in WOW Wrestling, and she's world famous.
Yep.
She is.
Who did he ever beat?
And J.R. Rock is in here. I don't know who thought that was a good idea.
He was the latest one to go in.
Lone Wolf Bobby Blade. He deserves every accolade he gets.
Who did he ever beat?
Oh, hey, he beat J.R. Rock.
That's true. That's true.
Sexy Sean Casey, I feuded with him over the MWA Light Heavyweight Championship in 1996, and it was an amazing series of matches. Debbie Combs. Debbie Combs was a great, great talent known all over the world. And,
Second generation.
yeah, second generation to Cora Combs. She was always super nice. Donnie Green Sr., tons of stories about him.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Dr. McAttack, Ron Starr,
Yeah.
Dirty Chris Hayes.
His son.
Yep, Gypsy Joe, Hillbilly Jim, Buddy
And
Landell.
the first picture of Hillbilly Jim ever in the wrestling ring I took, and that was at Georgetown, Kentucky.
Oh, yeah?
So if you go to the Kentucky Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, you'll see him standing in the ring, turning, looking at the camera, and he's not dressed as a hillbilly.
Yeah.
He's dressed as who he was when he first started.
With the singlet on.
Big Jim Morris.
Yep.
From Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Nature Boy Buddy Landell, Jerry the King Lawler, Fabulous Danny Fargo, Dale TNT Man, Dirty Dutch Mantell, Sensational Sherry Martell. I have loved Sherry Martell. She was awesome.
Sherry has come to my house many times and stayed overnight whenever she comes into Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
And she also is the one that hooked me up with a guy called Joe Bailey. And because of her, Joe Bailey and I then started a wrestling promotion called BBW, Bad to the Bone Wrestling. And this was while MWA was still the big dogs in the state. We then were also running in the state too, running all across the state. And BBW, Bad to the Bone Wrestling, that was Bailey and Bass Wrestling.
Yeah, she
Hell yeah.
she
And
was the
Sherry is the one that put us together.
she was the booker for a group that I worked for in 2002 called Southern Wrestling Network. And so she was my direct boss, and she was great to work for. And then when she left the promotion, the wheels came off of it, and it fell apart quick.
Oh, she's got great stories.
Yeah.
Great stories.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful Bobby Eaton, Lanny Keene, who was also known as Cousin Junior and Moondog Cujo. Great guy as well. Leaping Lanny Poffo, the Macho Man, Randy said, "Ooh, yeah."
Stealing steaks.
Hustler Rip Rogers, Ricky Morton, Rated X. Who thought that was a good idea? He's a 19-time champion. Did you know that?
That means he lost the belt 19 times.
Yeah.
Loser.
He's probably hating us right now.
Yeah.
He's going to
And
call in
He didn't lose to one guy. He lost to what? A dozen different people?
19 guys.
Well, maybe a dozen different guys, but so he gets it back and then loses it.
Len Rossi, Mike Samples, Angelo Poffo, who is Randy Savage and Lanny Poffo's dad.
And that's a good one, too.
The miser.
Yep, the miser. The Sheik.
The
late-
original
Yep.
Sheik.
Yeah, the original Sheik.
For those that don't know him, he was the hardcore legend.
The late, great Tracy Smothers, who has helped a ton of guys.
Yeah.
Derek Neal.
The real deal.
Yep.
The real deal.
Hell yeah.
He's recuperating right now.
Yeah.
Yes, he is actually, yeah. Kelly Klein, the headliner, Chris Michaels. The Monster Abyss, who was known as Prince Justice back when he got his start.
And also called Blueberry because of his outfit.
Yep, and he was also, before he was Prince Justice, he was Crazy Chris Justice, and then he was also Crazy Ken Justice. And Danny Fargo actually changed his name to Ken Justice for a little bit because at that point in time, there were so many Chris's on the show. So he didn't want to overload the show with Chris. There was like 5 Chris's.
I went through that with Dale Mann when we were doing Channel 34 out of Campbellsville. We were doing TV,
Yeah.
and he changed my name before we went and did our TV show because he was going to be on there with me. And he says, well, there's Dale Mann and Dale Bass and Wolfman. His first name is Dale. And Outlaw West, his first name is Dale. And he said, there's 4 Dales in this promotion. So he looked at me and said, your name is now Bill. So I went to
Billy
open up the
Bass.
show. I went to open up the show, and this is. Okay, let's do it again. Welcome to and I am let's do it again. And we went through like 7 or 8, 9, 10 takes before I finally got it right. And Dale Mann was the one that wanted me to be Bill and not Dale. So as the show went on, like, Bill, well, Dale, Dale. And he started calling me Dale. I said, okay, blew that. But, go on. You can go on.
So we have Crazy Chris Justice, who was later known as Crazy Ken Justice, who became Prince Justice, and then later became the Monster Abyss. Lou Thez, who you tagged with.
I look upon that as my greatest match, and it was my second year of my 50 years. It was only my second year, and just because it's the Lou Thez, I got the tag team with him, even though I went in there, got my butt beaten like that, and then I tag out, and he comes on in, and he wins the match. But I got the tag with Lou Thez.
Still legendary.
That's pretty cool.
Yep, that is cool.
And
That is cool.
He was there with MWA, and he was there with Bulldog Cliff Lilly.
Mm-hmm.
And he did commentary, but then he wrestled. He wrestled Dale Mann in Georgetown one night in front of a packed house.
Yep.
They went for, I guess, an hour draw time limit.
Then you have Mercy Daddy, Handsome Jimmy, the Boogie Woogie Man, Valiant loves you all. He's in there.
Yeah.
Vic the Bruiser, Barroom Brawler / Dangerous, Doug Vines, awesome guy, awesome talent. The Batten Twins, Brad and Bart Batten, Little Farmer John, Chief Lone Eagle, Bobby Fulton, who was Crazy Bobby Fulton, the Mad Dog Bobby Fulton.
Foaming at the mouth, Bobby
Yep.
Fulton.
Later became Fantastic Bobby Fulton. One half of the Fantastics was amazing talent. I beat him back in 2012. Lisa Monroe and Teresa Monroe.
Yeah.
I never got to meet Teresa Monroe, but Lisa I did. Lisa was great, man. She was great. Flying Fred Curry, Candy Divine, Superstar Bill Dundee, Flamboyant Eric Embry, George Weingroff, Pistol Pez Watley, The Wolfman, Tojo Yamamoto, Rosie Green, Diane Von Hoffman.
Rosie Green.
Yeah.
Do you remember her?
I knew who she was. I've seen pictures. I've never got to see her work, and I never got to meet her.
There was a girl that she had to wrestle one night called Kathy Arnold. And Rosie Green and Kathy Arnold, they kind of like had the hots for the same guy. They got into it in the ring, and next thing you know is Kathy Arnold accidentally grabs Rosie Green by the front of her outfit. Whoop. Okay, what do you think Rosie Green did?
Same thing.
And Kathy Arnold was blessed, and Rosie Green, well,
So was the crowd.
And then the crowd got blessed, and But Rosie Green, I would sometimes go to shows, and Rosie would travel with me, and we'd be just about there, and I said, "Well, you're gonna hop in the back seat and go change in your outfit?" Yep. So she'd climb over, get in the back seat. Next thing I know is there's clothes hanging over top of the chair, over top of the car seat. She'd be in the back of the car. No, she had. Well, I'm trying to think of the right word. She would change in front of you if she had to, and she wouldn't blush at all. But she was a great heel.
That's awesome.
She was not the prettiest person, because if you go into Kentucky Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, see her picture, you'll know she's not the prettiest person. But boy, did she know how to be a bad guy and how to get crowds upset.
Real quick, Bob Blade, someone here wanted to address you. He says, "It's good to see J.R. Rock and Del Bass, but why is Ben Sheeran there trying to be the lonely wolf, Bobby Blade?" I'm telling Bobby.
Shut up, party man Cam.
What's up, Cam? What's up, buddy?
Shut up.
All right, continue with the list here. We got Diane von Hoffman, who was also known as Moondog Fifi. She was a great person as well.
She was trained by Dale Mann,
Yeah.
and then she went to the Fabulous Moolah, and she went down there and worked with Moolah for quite a while.
Yeah. Jessica Hart, who is Amanda Vines. She's married to Doug Vines.
Yep.
Great person. The man, Roger Ruffin.
Yep.
Everybody around here knows who Roger Ruffin
Yep.
is.
He runs the Northern Wrestling Federation.
Yep.
And what is the thing between Roger Ruffin and you and me in 2010?
Oh, we all went into the MWA Hall of Fame, into the biggest and best class of all time in the MWA Hall of Fame was 2010.
And who is all the other people that's part of it?
Let's see. I'll go in order that the speeches went. Was the man Roger Ruffin, Bad Dale Bass, Fabulous Danny Fargo, Rated X. Actually, it was Dale TNT Man, because he jumped the gun and came out before he was supposed to. Rated X, and then I was a surprise induction.
Yep.
I main evented the Hall of Fame, just in case y'all didn't know.
And that
Hell
was
yeah.
the greatest Hall of Fame induction ceremony of any promotion anywhere in the state of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Because everybody basically on there is Hall of Famer, in time. But notice the promoters that's on there.
Yeah.
Dale Mann promoter, Danny Fargo, Roger Ruffin, Rated X,
Yep.
and major wrestling promoters in the history of Kentucky wrestling.
And then I showed up and took the
The
spot right
man
away.
can't remember yesterday,
I can't remember
but
this.
he can remember the order everybody went in 15 years ago.
He can.
Yep, I can.
That's amazing.
He was calling it. You were on the headset and calling all of that.
Yeah,
wasn't
and
you?
they surprised me with it. Chris got on the microphone. We thought the Hall of Fame was over with. We thought Rated X was going to be the last guy. It was supposed to have been Dale Mann was supposed to be the headliner
Yeah.
of it. And they started playing Back in Black by AC/DC, which is Rated X's
X.
music. So Dale Mann used TNT by AC/DC. TNT,
Yeah.
that.
And they were both back behind the curtain,
Yeah.
standing side by side.
Standing side by side. Back in Black starts playing. X is getting ready to make his way out, but Dale goes, "I'm going out now," and he comes on through the curtain, and we're like,
What the world? And his video is playing too, right?
yeah, X's video's playing, and X's song is playing, and then Tiny Aaron Rose, he was doing commentary with me that night. He yells back at Tito Zara, who was doing the music in the video, and he says, Tito, switch it to Dale, switch it to Dale. So they switch it to TNT real quick, and he goes out and he baby cakes everybody, slaps 5, kisses all the women, shakes the babies, and all that stuff, and gets up in the ring and does his speech and everything. And then it was time for X, and X came out, and X slapped everybody's hand in there twice, and then made out with all the fat women in there,
Yeah.
and for 15 minutes each, and did his normal Rated X intro where it takes him like 75 minutes to get to the ring. I love X to death, but he's the longest person. That's the longest wait you'll ever be in the ring when you're waiting for Rated X to come out. But anyway,
They
so
play the full song at least twice.
I was in the ring wrestling him one time, and they played it 4 times.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man.
4 times, all the way through. So anyway, and then he goes out and does his speech, and then Chris Hayes, who was the MWA promoter at the time, he says, we'd like to induct one more person here, and he doesn't know it yet, and blah blah blah. But this guy stuck with me through thick and thin. When times were good and times were bad, everybody pay attention to the screen. We had a big screen behind us. Well, my music started playing, and a video of me and Abyss coming out to the ring, and I'm sitting there looking at it. I'm going, I didn't know Abyss was here tonight. That's cool. They're going to put him in the Hall of Fame tonight. And in time, I look over at Aaron, and Aaron's going. He's pointing at me, and I'm like, what? Oh, that's my music. Oh my gosh, it's me. So
And you came walking down the aisle with that same expression and attitude.
As soon as I stepped in the aisle, the tears just started coming.
Yeah.
It was like a waterfall. And then the first person I saw, like standing on the corner up there, because they had all of the wrestlers lined up. There was 2 rings in there next to each other, because it was a 2-ring show. They had a double ring battle royal in the main event. But they had all the wrestlers were lined up around both rings all the way around. And the first person that was standing in the corner there was Jeff Vickers. And Jeff Vickers was crying. And then he came and hugged me and everything, and I lost it. I couldn't. Yeah, that was it. I lost it. I was just like that. I'm not even going to try to hide that I'm crying anymore. So then I get in the ring, and I did my speech, and I thought my speech at the time sucked, but when I watched it back on video, I was like, that was a pretty good speech.
That's right.
So, off the top of your head.
Yeah, but the thing was when my music hit, I heard this loud pop. And it was not only the crowd, it was the workers were all popping and everything too. And I'm like,
nobody, not even me. I didn't even know that Chris was going to do this. I thought it was just the 5 of us, and that was it.
I was told after the whole thing was over with, the only people that knew about it were Chris Hayes, Mark Morris, Tito.
Yeah.
And I think that was it. That was the only people that knew about it, because Tito had to get the pictures from me and everything, because he said
No.
What's that?
I did know about it because Chris Hayes asked me for pictures of
Oh, did he?
for you. Yeah, so it did dawn on me, like, yeah, he was asking me for pictures for everybody that was in the Hall of Fame, and he wanted your pictures too.
So I gave Tito some pictures of everybody that I had, and then he says, "Can you give me some pictures of yourself too?" And I'm like, "For what?"
That's right, John.
And he's like, "Well, I'm going to put together some music videos and everything that we're going to show during the show and all that." And I'm like, "Oh, well, that's cool." So he's just going to play music video with pictures rotating and all that stuff. So I gave him a bunch of pictures and didn't think nothing of it and all that stuff. And then next thing I know, here's this video with all these pictures I gave him, and I guess you gave him as well. Yeah. So I got up there and I cried my butt off and gave a pretty good speech and was overwhelmed by the whole moment and everything. And to look into the ring and to see you were there, and X was there, and Dale Mann was there. And to get Dale Mann to a show at this point, you were doing something.
Yes.
That's
I
right.
had a time getting him to be there. I had a time.
Yeah.
Cricket was there.
Yeah. Cricket and James and Will were all there. I got them to come to the show.
Yep.
And so they were all there. Roger Ruffin was in the ring. You had Bobby Green was in the ring, because they introduced them before they
Ron
brought
Starr
me.
even showed up in the ring too.
Ron Starr was there, and then you had people that were there like Mike Doggendorf. He was there, and Steve Marino and everybody. They were all there. But anyway, to be included in that class and see all these caliber of people in the ring with me going into the same Hall of Fame class that you all were going into, that was something.
That's the greatest class I know of any wrestling promotion ever in the state of Kentucky.
Yeah, people might say, well, what about this and what about that? But that was the best night of my life.
That's right.
That was the best night of my life, because I felt like all the hard work.
Recognition.
Yeah, I put all this hard work in for decades, and then it was being recognized by the promotion that I worked for the longest.
Because you deserved it.
Yeah. And so, I appreciated that.
But we don't go in this planning like, I'm going to stay with this so long, I'm going to get something for being in it because I've been in it 20 years.
Yeah.
You don't really expect it when it comes.
Yeah, you get nominated,
Yeah.
quote unquote, due to your body of work and your body of work being recognized for being,
And sometimes it's not even with that promotion.
yeah,
It's, with that one and another one
Yeah.
and another one and another one
Yeah.
and the whole overall character. Like if you had a personality-wise that really stunk behind the scenes, you wouldn't have gotten in.
yeah,
If you really stepped on everybody's toes and people really didn't like you, you wouldn't have gotten in.
yeah.
So
That's right.
You got in because you did good. You made people like you. Your character was great. You entertained from the moment everything.
And while I might not have been the best wrestler out of everybody, I always, when I was out there, I might not have had the most technical matches, but
You were entertaining.
yes, exactly. Every time I was out there, the crowd was always responding. They were always reacting to everything I would do and everything. So I could take, this finger and just put it up and make the people yell and scream.
You had them eating out the palm of your hand.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
You knew how to make people react.
yeah, and that's a testament to me. I put myself over because nobody else is going to do it.
I mean, the promoters basically
I
booked
just-
you, promoters booked you against everybody because you could work everybody.
yeah, I could.
Well, you
Have
saying,
good
JR?
matches.
I
Yeah.
just want to say one thing, Mrs. Blade. Did you hear that? That was the best night of his life. That, in case you're watching, that,
Now, if we can, let's try to get the second best night of his life and the third best. And how far do we have to go down before we hit Mrs. Blake?
well, I mean, this weekend is my 1 year anniversary with her. So
it's not going to be the best night of your life now.
It's not going to be her best night of her life either. Right?
can I finish the list, please?
Yeah. Can you pick back up?
Yes.
All right, unfortunately, guys, Killian is tapping out early on this one. I'll be back in a little bit.
That's
All
right,
right.
brother.
Okay, we got the man Roger Ruffin, Jeff Vickers, who was
Yeah.
also he was Chic Aftershock
I love
slash
Jeff Vickers.
slash Aftershock
And
slash Country Cousin Jeffro
Country Cousin Jeffro.
slash Jabroni Farouk.
My first match was against Cousin Country Jeffro and Cousin Country Jed. Then later on, I was in a faction with Chic Aftershock.
Nice.
Yep. Let's see, we've got John Noble.
Yeah.
John
Who
Noble.
is having his last match this year coming up?
Yep, he's going on his last loop right now. So, Psycho Sam Cody.
Yes.
I love Psycho Sam Cody. Terry England and Chuck Connors.
Chuck Connors' tag team partner of basically Forever and Ever was.
Oh, stop with this, Dale. Who was it? Oh, yeah, Dale Man.
Yes.
Jeez,
They both would go out there with buckskin jackets and, the buckskin boots. And,
Yeah.
yeah. Dale
I
Man
could just
and Chuck
imagine
Connors.
that.
Dale Man and Chuck Connors.
So,
No relation to Billy Connors,
yeah.
who was always out there with Donnie Green Sr. and Dr. McAttack Ronstar.
John R. Gray is right now inside comics. He's been saying so much to you guys. He's like, Aftershock, I miss him. And now he says, man, John Noble, what a class act.
Yep, who's that, John Gray?
Yep.
Oh, John
Yes.
Gray, what's up, brother?
What's up?
I love John Gray, man. I've been talking to him off and on here the past couple of weeks.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
He's returned to the Kentucky area.
yeah, he has.
Glad to see him tuning in tonight.
He's one of the top referees in the state. Well, in several states. He's one of the top referees in independent wrestling. I think.
In this area of the
Yeah,
country, for
yeah.
over the years, he's regarded as being one of the best.
Yeah, and he had for a long time he had his own podcast. It was called The Real Side of Wrestling. And
Heck yeah.
that was a great show. That was a great show. Were you ever on it, Dale?
No, I've never been on it.
Oh, that's
John's
great.
been in the ring with a ton of workers.
Yeah, yeah. I think he told me the other night, John, if you're watching and I'm wrong, please correct me on this. I think he said he was in the ring with Sting and Shawn Michaels, if I'm not mistaken.
Let us know inside comics, John.
That's pretty cool.
He
Yeah.
said, wow, so humbled.
Well, you mentioned about Roger Ruffin.
Roger Ruffin, yeah, Roger Ruffin. If you didn't know before, he is the current owner of the Northern Wrestling Federation. He runs Bone Crushers Wrestling School. He is a legend here in the state of Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, wherever he wrestled, he is a legend there. He also, for a period of time, worked for the WWF. and he refereed at WrestleMania 8.
Yes.
And he was the referee for the Intercontinental title match with Roddy Piper against Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yes.
And you can see that on the, what is it, Peacock, I guess?
Yeah.
And he also, too, he refereed at Survivor Series 90.
I know he did a Shawn Michaels match too.
Yep. Yeah, with El Matador, Tito Santana.
Yep.
I love that green and pink gimmick.
Yeah. And then I think he did like Tatanka and Rick Martel as well.
He's
so.
chimed in finally. He said, "Y'all done brought tears to my eyes." And then he said, "Sting, HBK, Buffalo Bagwell,
Buffalo.
Road Warrior Animal, Ted DiBiase, and Greg Valentine." I think he meant Buff Bagwell, but then
Yeah.
it went and it
No,
autocorrected him to Buffalo.
Yeah, poor Buff just had his leg amputated.
Yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
shout out to
kid.
him.
Yeah, we did a show with Buff Bagwell a few years ago. He wrestled ATM in Paris, Kentucky for PTW. And ATM, if you didn't know, was Austin Tyler Morris, and he was a great talent as well. I don't remember if it was for a belt or not. I don't remember. But anyway, ATM ended up beating him that night, and they had a great match, great contest, and everything like that. So it was cool, being on the same show with Buff Bagwell. So
I never got to wrestle Buff, but I was on a show in Tennessee with him for Tennessee Mountain at Terry Landell.
yeah.
And I helped him do all his pre-match stretch warm-up routine. Then he watched my match and gave me some critique after. He's super nice guy.
Heck yeah. And I guess they're wondering something that's been sitting on this table this whole time. Because I'm right now looking at the screen there, and don't you think that's a beautiful title that's sitting right there, Bobby Blade?
That is a beautiful title.
So this is a surprise title debut tonight. This is the one of the KWF Tag Team Championship belts that I thought I'd bring down and surprise everybody and debut tonight while we were on here to fill a little time. I know Bobby can talk for hours, but I helped him out some. I also have a hardback copy of Locker Room Stories, my book. Bobby contributed to that. Dale Bass contributed to that. I've got more copies coming. You can get them on Amazon as well.
Hey, and I'm gonna put that book over. I'm gonna put you over for once.
It's about time.
Yeah, I know it is about time. I've got a
Because if you don't, he's not going to put you in book number 2.
Yeah.
Or 3.
Oh, no, I've already got a stack of stories for book number 2 from Bobby.
Locker Room Stories by Carbon Blue Cheese.
That's right.
Make sure if you haven't read it yet, go get you a copy because it is super funny. Super funny. Like I remember a good majority of the stories happening that are in that book and everything, and every one of them are true, and every one of them are it seems like as you go along, the funnier the stories get. And yeah, so it's definitely, it's a must read. If you don't have it, get you a copy.
That's right.
We have a lot of shows coming up that'll be available. We have a show next Friday at the Capital City Museum in Frankfurt for the Miss Elizabeth exhibit.
Yep.
Special
Yes,
show.
Special show. We'll have them at the merchandise table there. We will have a show in Lexington at Master Sensation Park September 1st. It's a private show for the UPS union. We'll have them there, so if the UPS lets you in, you can get one there. We will have them at the Powell County Fair on September 20th. We do a show there, and we will have them at our first house show on September 7th in Frankfurt at Thornhill Gym.
That's right. You guys don't want to miss the KWF shows that's coming up.
JR, tell them what the August 1st show is.
August
About-
1st is a show for the Capital City Museum to help honor the exhibit that they're doing for the late Miss Elizabeth. They're open from 10 to 4. You can go see the exhibit. Then from 6 to 8, you can see a KWF wrestling show. And then starting at 9 o'clock, you can watch a drive-in screening on the big inflatable screen of Miss Elizabeth's highlight career moments.
And how much does it cost?
It is free. This is all paid for on your behalf by the Capital City Museum. They bought, paid, sealed the deal, want the public to come out and celebrate with them.
Hell yeah.
We got a good lineup. And even we have the Amazing Maria is going to be on.
Yes, you will be able to see Women
I'm a
of Wrestling's
superstar.
Amazing Maria versus NWA's Big Mama.
That's going to be a hell of a match.
They will be there. We'll have Maximo Suave in the house. We will have the Thrill Billy, Kill Billy, Evil Nate Hewitt in the house with his chainsaw.
I can't
We
wait
got
for
a
that.
good
For you,
good
Bobby.
lineup.
He's not going for me.
But it's all free.
Bobby.
Come and enjoy the show. A wrestling show followed by
You
a
will see
video afterwards.
Bobby Blade will be in the house. Just so everybody knows.
I was canceled off the commentary by J.R. Rock. Let me just make that public knowledge.
Is Mrs. Blade listening?
No, I don't think.
She's
Probably
not
not.
listening?
Mm-mm.
Well, if you are listening, make sure Bobby's there. His commentary
That's right.
partners will be there. We'll have referee Kentucky in the house.
See, that's my partner,
helping
though.
yes, he's going to be in the house.
He's going to be in the ref.
Terry England will be in the house representing.
Can't wait. Terry England is the man.
And several other stars from around the state you'll see on the show, some new, some old. It should be a good time. Come help celebrate. I think the museum's going to have some food trucks there, so there'll be a variety of food. We'll have KWF t-shirts, we'll have books, we'll have all kinds of wrestling merch. Just come check it out.
Now,
That's
KWF is Kentucky Wrestling Federation, and it's going to become probably one of the biggest promotions here in the state of Kentucky. You're seeing tonight the purple belt, one of the 2 tag team belts. And we also have unveiled the heavyweight belt and the ladies belt.
That's right.
And
Last time I was here, you got to see the ladies' belt with the pink leather strap, with the big silver plate with the Rosehead Riveter busting through the belt.
when you see these belts and hold them, get to see them up close, you're going to realize these are probably the best belts in the state of Kentucky from any promotion.
Hey,
These
I
are
already believe
serious.
it. I already believe it after looking at it. I mean, look at them.
What do you
That's
think?
gorgeous.
What do you think, Bobby? You like the belt?
I love it. I think it's beautiful,
It's
man.
made
Seriously.
in Europe.
Is it?
All the belts, I believe, is that correct? They're made in Europe and then sent across.
Yes.
Nice.
And he had to search to find, and the 4 plates are special plates on all of them.
All the side plates match on all the belts. They have their own unique individual main plates, which I designed all the plates for the belt, sent them to the maker, and then they sent them back to us.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Kentucky Wrestling Federation, we've got our own page on Facebook, Kentucky Wrestling Federation. And JR has gotten his hands into a ton of stuff. And it's just like August 1st coming up, Ms. Elizabeth, September. No, I'm saying
No.
August. September.
We have
1st.
August 1st and September 1st.
And
So our initial plan back in April or May, the launch, was September 7th. So since then, we had a show on May 23rd that was thrown in our lap. We have this show on August 1st that was thrown in our lap. I helped do a Western Kentucky State Fair show that was thrown in my lap.
Yep.
The show on September 1st for the UPS Union was thrown in my lap. Thank you, Nice Guy Andy Podcast,
That's right.
for helping set that up. So we've had a lot of people reaching out to us to help us get up and going off the ground. So we're just trying to give back and help with this kind of stuff everywhere.
we have
That's
a
right.
great wrestling ring. It's just flat out great wrestling ring. And the guardrails that he has designed, nobody has guardrails like what we have for the fans to sit behind. The total look of Kentucky Wrestling Federation is probably good. We're trying to make it the best promotion in the state of Kentucky. So as a wrestling fan, you're going to come up there, and even without seeing the wrestlers wrestling, you're going to look at the ring and go, whoa.
So to go along with our Kentucky theme, we've got the Bourbon Trail on our belt, the UK Wildcat logo, the Kentucky crest off the flag, and a Kentucky Derby horse racing kind of looking thing. Our guardrails are made to look like wooden horse fences to go around the wrestling ring kind of deal. And Bobby can vouch for the ring. It's a good bumping ring. I've wrestled Bobby in this ring a long time ago in Georgetown. Yes, Melanie at Cujo's ring.
This was my ring from back then.
The really, really good one.
Yes.
Yes.
That's yeah.
That's my ring.
So
Oh,
we,
nice.
We got it out of storage. We repainted it. We got nice bright orange ropes for it. We're going to have, whenever I get around to making them, purple turnbuckle covers. We've got a gray canvas. We got a black canvas. Ring poster black. So we've redone the whole ring.
Our sides.
Yes, we've got very nice ring skirts with the Kentucky Wrestling Federation logo on them. So
Hell yeah.
The promotion, we're trying to make this the best promotion out there. When the fans come and start watching us, they're going to see what we're going to try to put out there as the best wrestling promotion in the state of Kentucky. And we're aiming to do the first Sunday of every month in Frankfort at Thornhill starting in September. They can just count that, write it down in the books. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, first Sunday of the month, every month, starting in September.
also a show I forgot to announce on August 19th in Paris, Kentucky. There's going to be a punk rock concert And KWF is featuring one match as the intermission for the 4 bands. There'll be 2 bands to play. Then you can come out and see Jacob Ratliff wrestling larger than life, Ethan Higher. Then there'll be two more bands after that one individual match.
And
Heck yeah.
that will be a no ring match
No ring,
as well.
no rules, brawl in the pit.
Classic.
And if you've not seen Jacob Ratliff or Ethan Higher, I know Jacob didn't say hello to me, but I'm gonna put him over anyway.
I'll put Jacob over anyway.
Jacob is a great guy, great talent, and he is a legit Fight Club champion.
Yes, sir.
And Ethan Higher is an amazing high-flying talent that can really, really throw down.
He can. I've seen it.
And he can really wrestle in between him and Jacob together.
Should be a fantastic match.
It should be, yeah, definitely. It's going to be. It's going to be.
And that's awesome because it's showing how fast KWF is growing.
Yeah.
Because you got all these shows that's coming up.
Yep.
People get to see what KWF is all about.
Yep.
Y'all going to have all the greatest talent that there is.
On Sundays, nobody runs on Sundays except for us. So we have access to wrestlers from all the promotions, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio. So JR is in control of the booking situation, and he has people contacting him all over the place, like, can I come and work for you? We'll have to work you in, But, yeah. Comparing what we got now to the way it looked with Dale Mann and, let's say, 40, 45 years ago, I think our ring is actually better than his. It's better than what that product is. We have better skirts. We have better guardrails. We've got everything we have. I'm trying to make sure that it's better than whatever we saw in the past. If you remember any promotion that was great on something, we're trying to be better. So we want this to be the Major League of Wrestling that's going to be running the state of Kentucky.
That's the best mindset to have.
Now, if you're looking to come wrestle for KWF on August 1st, the main event of the show is a battle royal. It's an open battle royal. If you have an active, valid Kentucky wrestling license and want to come be in this battle royal, shoot me a message, show up at the museum, and I'll get you in there and you can show us what you got and see if we want to use you or not.
That's right. That'll be their chance to try to show you why you should be booking them for future events.
And you might only be in there a minute or two, or maybe you might be in there 5 or 10 minutes, who knows. But whatever you do, you've got the eyes of the promotion is watching you to determine, is this guy good enough to bring back?
And get your foot in the door, possibly.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
And JR goes to many different promotions anyway, and he sees the talent from many of the different promotions, so he already kind of has a little black book written down, like, I know all these guys here, they are all good. When the time comes for him to have a show, all he has to do is open up, and he's got dozens of people he can choose from.
We not only have Kentucky talent, I have talent coming from Canada that will be in our show on September 7th. The
Yes.
Prospector will be down from Canada
Wes Barker.
to be in our heavyweight championship tournament.
Nice.
And you probably don't know Wes Barker's background. And if we could ever get him here on the mic, he could tell you his background of just the last 3 years of what he did in Canada. And
I'd definitely like to get him back in.
He is somebody. He's actually wrestled for at least 3 years up in Canada, and he's somebody.
Yeah,
And he came here in the United States, and
You know what he told us when we first met him at AMW's meet and greet at Matt's Games and Collectibles? He said he'd never been to a place that was nicer than Kentucky. That right there shows that Kentucky is the place to be, especially for wrestlers that want to break in. And KWF is the place where he's going to be cutting his teeth and showing what he can do.
Hey, Kentucky has a very, very strong wrestling tradition and history in this state.
That's right.
What we've been talking about, celebrating that, talking about MWA and all the other promotions. Kentucky is very big in the wrestling business, period. I mean, there's lots of people that came out of Kentucky that have made names for themselves.
Exactly. And they're all remembered too. Like, look at MWA. It's been gone for so long, and yet people still remember it to this day as if it only closed its doors yesterday.
Yeah.
that list that Bobby Blade has that I gave him, that's just the list from Kentucky Hall of Fame of the MWA people. if you go into the Hall of Fame, you go into the albums, you check out the photographs, there are people, plenty of people in there that are not MWA.
That's
They're
true.
from Memphis. They're from Louisville. They're all sorts of different promotions, and they're also in the Kentucky Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. And Kentucky has got a ton of recognizable name people that have wrestled here long enough to be worthy to be in the Kentucky Hall of Fame. I mean, there's, I can say Randy in the WWE. I mean, he spent his time just like Brock and all of them. They went to OVW. They spent their time over there. Mark Henry and all. They're not in the Hall of Fame. They showed on up. They did their thing over in the school, and then they're gone.
Yep.
So they weren't really making an impact on Kentucky wrestling like some of those other big names you see there, because they came and they worked for the MWA, they worked for USWF, they worked for UCW, they worked for other independent circuits. They helped Kentucky wrestling. That's why they're on the Kentucky Hall of Fame.
Well, I can't say that I made an impact at MWA because I wasn't much more than a mid-carder curtain jerker jobber. I had one main event match there, but the rest of my whole career and what I learned there helped me become a Kentucky Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer.
Yeah, you were there during
right.
the Mount Sterling days.
Yes.
And
Mostly,
he's
right?
wrestled all over for many different promotions, and he even turned down 2 shows coming up. He gave a no to a promoter here just yesterday.
3 shows.
3 shows?
Yeah.
I knew of at least 2. So he had a promoter and he's supposed to be retired, and he's still got promoters calling him up, trying to get him to come out and get in the ring.
That's how good he is.
That's I keep bringing myself up because it's me. But
you know how Stan Sierra, they were putting over how Stan Sierra had held the belt for so many days? What was it, 2,000?
1,238 days.
Okay. JR, tell them, how long have you had that one belt?
Okay, so the OWA, the Outlaw Wrestling Alliance that Jeremy Brake runs, I won their heavyweight championship in 2018. I still have that heavyweight championship. On August 2nd, I'm going to an OWA show, and I'm going to relinquish that belt back to OWA.
And how long have you had that belt total?
That's 2,000 plus days.
See that? Longer than Stan Sierra's
That is
title reign.
From May of 2018 till currently today.
And I was there during the days when Dale Mann had his title for over 2,000 days.
And I beat Chase Stevens to win that belt.
I got punched by Chase Stevens once. It was at the UCW Converting Super Show that he was at.
Oh yeah.
You got
Yeah,
punched by him?
Yeah, he was drunk and he was trying to show a working punch, and he hit a punch, and it was a real punch that he wasn't meant to do, and I just told him, "Hey, you're okay."
Well,
A working punch. What's that?
He drinks those Budweiser energy drinks.
you all know the story about me and Randy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't worry, I got punched by somebody live in front of everybody
Oh, yeah.
before you did.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I got.
You told that the last time you were on here,
Talk
didn't
Yeah,
you?
I
about
did.
punches. Let Bobby Blade punch you.
Or,
What's wrong with my punches?
but also,
No, they're not.
Stiff as a board.
I ain't never felt them.
but don't let him elbow drop you off the ring, off the apron.
There's nothing wrong with that. I never feel a thing.
You don't feel
I
anything,
hurt
but
myself more than I hurt my opponent.
well,
I've done that before plenty of times.
I've heard different stories about your
Well,
elbow drop.
They're all lying.
I mean, if I ask any of them to verify who has the stiffest move that they've ever taken, the one name that comes up consistently is always Lone Wolf Bobby Blade's cactus elbow.
They all lie. All of them lie.
At least they wasn't talking about me for once.
I mean, your strap was pretty stiff that night
Jeez.
against Stan, man.
Bobby Blade, did you finish going down through that list?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I'll say I'm a snug. I'm not stiff.
That's right.
Okay.
Now, I did bring a list that had MWA people in the Kentucky Hall of Fame, but I also brought a list, and it's 3 pages long with about 60 names on them, and these are also wrestlers. So if you want to hit this or not, these are also wrestlers that have wrestled for MWA that are not in the Kentucky Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. I mean, there are some recognizable names on there.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
I know some of them are your friends too.
Yeah, you got some fans on here too.
Well, but you notice I put a little red dot next to the wrestlers.
Yeah. Okay. So read those.
Well, you know, if you
Why are the fans on the list?
that's actually a list that I was using when I was sending out the link to the show that we're on right now.
Oh, okay.
Because I sent it out. This show I sent out to over 200 people.
Hell yeah.
All right. So you want me to read the
Well-
ones with the red?
Well, I'm sure you see some red dot people in there that are not part of the Kentucky Hall of
Chris
Fame.
Crow
but they
said
are
real quick.
MWA.
Chris Crow says, the undeniable one will be at KWF September 7th.
I'll be there that night.
Chris Crow was in the heavyweight title tournament.
Yep.
That's correct.
You know who is not in the heavyweight title tournament? That's
You.
Lone Wolf Bobby Blade.
Yeah.
Lone Wolf Bobby Blade will not be in any tournaments, will not be going for any belts, regardless of what I posted earlier on
I
Facebook.
can make you a spot.
No, you cannot.
No, I can.
But what
Money
do you
talks.
make them?
Okay, deal.
No.
Bobby Blade will be wrestling J.R. Rock on September 7th
Good.
as a bonus match for the
Good.
heavyweight title tournament.
Good.
Bobby Blade will be wrestling
yeah.
a microphone, or a headset, I should say. Do you have headsets or a microphone?
Who has?
Please
the
try to
nice,
pay attention.
Who has the nice guy Andy belt?
It is Marty Clay.
Okay. We
Currently.
We got to do something about that.
Yeah.
Yep, Marty Clay's, he hadn't defended it in a while either, has he?
Not
He's
yet.
been defending other titles for
Ah.
USWF.
Well, I tell you who's not going to be challenged for the Nice Guy Indie Podcast Championship. That is Lone Wolf Bobby Blade. Lone Wolf
Well-
Bobby Blade will be sitting behind a table, behind a desk, with a pair of with a headset on, in front of a microphone, and will be calling the moves, the matches, and the history and the backstory of the matches.
I just saw you in a wrestling ring not too long ago in a battle royal.
No, you didn't.
I
He
did.
did.
Where?
Then somebody came with a chainsaw and you took a dump in your pants and ran out.
That was during the Rumble Royale in
Yes.
Danville.
I'm going
3WA.
to
So you got
tell
the
you
ring.
this.
I got in the ring, but you know what I did though? Okay, I was number 7. Okay, doing a Royal
They
Rumble
played
style.
music and you came out to get in there?
I was sitting at the commentary booth. They did a countdown on the screen.
Yeah.
What's up,
10,
Emily?
9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1. Well, when it got to one, we're all sitting here going, who's gonna be number 7? Blah blah blah. Everybody was down in the ring. It got to, the countdown got all the way down to 0. And my music started playing, and I was like, oh. I took the headset off, and I stood up, and I strutted all the way around the ring. I saw this sexy-looking ring post on the corner. I grabbed it. I showed it a little love. I gave it a little loving. And then I got up into the ring and grabbed the microphone, and I said, hey, you know what? I'm number 7, and I'm going to take every single person and throw them over the top rope here, no matter who they are. And in case you don't know who I am, allow me to introduce myself. I'm the meanest, cheatest, choking, high poking, scratch kicking, your mama sticking, spitting on babies, smacking old ladies. One man domestic disturbance, the man, the myth, the living legend, true old school icon, and the man you pay to see, a 5-time Hall of Famer, Lone Wolf Bobby Blade. And then while I was saying that, the countdown was on the screen still because it took up too much time. And the countdown got down to 0, and all of a sudden I heard a chainsaw. And I looked to the curtain, and I saw a crazy psychopathic serial killer come through the curtain with a chainsaw, revving it up, and it's going. He's walking down the rampway because we have one of those WCW style rampways. He's walking down the rampway. He gets close to the ring, and I said, nope. Hell with this, I'm out of here. And I went and I started climbing up the turnbuckle. Couldn't hardly make it. So I finally threw my leg over, stepped over, and then I stepped all the way down and eliminated myself and went straight back to commentary because I have no business being in a professional wrestling ring at the age of 51 years old and being as fat and out of shape as I am. Thank you very much. My wrestling days are over. JR, take that to the bank.
JR, is that true? Is that what you saw?
Pretty much. He forgot the pants pooping part.
I didn't
He
poop my
did.
pants that day. That was other days.
It sound like you were trying to sell me a car.
I've got late breaking news right here. It's coming across my news feed. It just says Bobby Blade has signed on the dotted line to be in the KWF Battle Royal August
Good.
1st.
Nice.
Your news feed lies.
Well, we have.
Well, Bobby did. His agent, Mrs. Blade, has signed him up for this.
Oh, there you go.
No, she didn't.
You're done.
Uh-oh.
You're done.
She wants to see you do one last thing,
You're
Southern.
No, she doesn't.
Well, JR and I also have planned the ladies tournament coming up.
Well, Mrs.
And
Blake
we
might
know
be in that.
because of your history, we expect that you're going to show on up and probably try to get into the ladies tournament one way
it's
or
on the
another.
news feed. Look on the news feed right there.
There's
From
no news
sources,
feed.
Bobby Blade
Yeah.
has been entered into the KWF Battle Royal August 1st.
Your source
Y'all be sure to be
lies.
there.
Your source is biased, sir.
Breaking news.
No.
It's breaking news, Bobby. Gotta do it.
JR Rock, do you know who that person is that posted that?
That's a breaking news reporter.
Okay, well, there's the source right there.
That source is a liar.
We get to advertise that now. We can put
Yes.
his name on the poster
No,
and
you
on
can't.
the flyer.
Hey,
His name's
Bobby-
already on the poster.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
it
Yes,
is.
it is.
I was canceled off the show.
You know, with his history,
I think you have to talk to the promoter
He is
about
on
that.
100 posters hanging in Frankfurt right now.
and
Well,
with his,
I bought 25 more,
Oh, there
and
you
I
go.
had 25 more printed because I enjoyed the ones I was putting out. So there's at least 125
And
in
he's
Frankfurt.
on another 100 handbills going to restaurants to be handed out this week, and another 100 smaller flyers going to be given to Chris Young to hand out this week. So that's 300 posters that Bobby Blade is on.
I
see
have-
your draw.
I have 6 posters in Georgetown advertising you.
Also, with your history of always going after women, you're probably going to go for that title, too.
No, I'm not. Johnny, you need to stop it. You're
Come on,
encouraging.
Bobby.
Johnny, I've realized something about you.
What's
I've
that?
realized something about you.
What's that?
Whoever's in the studio, you tend to put the chapstick on and pucker up a little bit.
That's not true,
Yeah.
Bobby.
No,
Yeah.
that's not true. He's not puckering nothing for you.
Yeah.
He's driving the bus.
He tried to bury me a couple weeks ago when y'all was on here by yourselves.
You know,
When did I bury you?
we need to talk to Marty Clay and have him defend your title belt for this
Yes.
against Lone Wolf Bobby.
Hey, that's a great idea.
Joe-
Lone Wolf Bobby Blade versus an athlete just like Marty.
Joe, just start swinging on people. Not like that.
Now, Marty Clay is going to be in the KWF title tournament as well.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
And he is podcast champion. He is AMW champion. Now he wants the KWF championship. Marty's going for all the belts.
That's right. He's hungry.
Now, JR, if he wanted to, he could start telling you now who the possible 16 people are in the tournament. And some of the names occasionally drop out and other names goes on in. Everybody that's going to be part of the tournament, if you look individually at just about everybody that's there, they're belt holders for many different promotions all around. And just one to bring up is Charles Colton.
Yep.
But I think
Nice.
he's carrying 3 or 4 different belts
Yep,
right
he's carrying
now.
3 right now.
And he's going to be in the tournament trying to get our belt.
Oh, he is.
We'll also see almost 400-pound Frank the Tank
Woo!
in the heavyweight title tournament.
And Stan
Diamond
Sierra,
Cartel.
he
Yes.
carries belts from all over. Stan Sierra is also in this tournament. And there's a bunch of others that carry belts. And we have tag champions and individual champions coming in to be part of the tournament. They want to be the very first
Yes.
Kentucky Wrestling Federation champion.
Showtime Sean Christopher is going to
Yep.
be in the heavyweight
Heck
title tournament.
yeah.
And he was the owner of Hardcore Championship Wrestling and carried the heavyweight belt several times. And I think, JR, didn't you also carry that belt sometimes?
International, not heavyweight, international, multiple-time international championship for them.
Yeah.
Kevo Thrives is booked, slated to be in the heavyweight title tournament.
The guy that Charles Colton beat at the UCW Converting Super Show.
Well, if you want to call it, he beat him.
I mean,
I don't have anything solidified yet, pardon me, but I've been talking to a guy who hasn't been out of the business for a while, looking to make a comeback, and I've opened my door to him. So if everything goes through, hopefully you'll get to see the one and only Billy Maverick from the Kentucky
Nice.
Wrestling Federation.
Nice. Really?
Yes.
He
Wow.
wrestled for me at BBW. We had, I think, the United States belt around him several different times.
Yeah, the last time I saw him wrestle was it was either PTW or NAW. You remember NAW? It was either there, one of those two is the last time I seen him.
I've also talked to Kelly Charles. Hopefully he will be making a debut at KWF this fall.
Dude.
And maybe
Kicking Kelly.
the
Yeah.
American Eagle, Kevin Crine, will be making an
nice.
appearance at KWF this fall.
I'm Kelly Charles. I haven't seen him wrestle since the Mount Sterling days.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time. If he can make a comeback, that'd be a great comeback right
I've
there.
talked to Kelly. I've told him he's more than welcome to come, just to let me know. I'd love to have him on the roster.
Oh, we got a fan that wants me to explain the different belts that we are talking about. Well, here's the thing, Emily Rose. Our belt, the Nice Game Podcast Championship, it is the main podcast championship, which you can see behind me is being held by the first champion, Zodiac. Right now, that belt that he is holding is around the waist of Marty Clay.
Now, is this also a heavyweight podcast championship?
With that one is modeled to look like the one that Icon Lee was holding.
Okay.
And it is the blue and darkened one, which is still can be used if Marty Clay loses his. But we also got the Knockouts Women's Championship for the Nice Game Podcast, which right now is around Jane's waist. She can defend that anytime at KWF. Just putting that out there.
Bobby, you want to win another ladies title?
No.
I told you.
Have you worked against Calamity?
No, I'm good.
He says that he's
I don't ever want to
good.
wrestle ever again.
He says that he's good, but I saw a twinkle in his eye just now.
No, I don't want to wrestle ever again. However, if there was a riot, broke out or something like that, like back in the old school days, I'll definitely throw down in a riot. 'Cause
Hell yeah.
I gotta protect myself. So,
Ask Calamity
We gotta
who
make a
her
riot happen.
ask Calamity who her trainer is.
who's her trainer?
Mr. J.R. Rock himself.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
Correct.
And also, he had her working against B Money, who she did not realize was a four-time state collegiate champion. She said, "You motherfucker didn't tell me that I was working with a killer? That he could have ripped my arm out of socket." I'm just like, "Well, Jane, you know his daddy is Barry Steele, don't you?"
Yeah, we had a training session a couple weeks ago. I've been so busy traveling, we haven't had another one. But I had Calamity Jane down there. I had B Money. I had Donnie Green. I had Al Steele. I had Ray Steele, all in the house, along with Scott Diamond, Austin Diamond, Alex Ripper for a training session.
Did they all get in the ring?
They did.
There you go, right there. That could be a main event right there. A Legends Battle Royal right there with all those guys. I saw Mike Bruner, Al Steele. I saw him twice in the past week. He looks to be in great shape. He can get into the ring for a Battle Royal. Daniel Bruner, Ray the Bear Steele. He can get in the ring any point in time and throw hands with Lean Mean Donnie Green
Yep.
Jr.
Tell them to go and get their
I
license
bet they
and
all,
show up at
they
Miss
all
Elizabeth.
will. If you will, I'm sure they will.
I can't.
You can.
Why not?
I'm very old.
Very
You're not that old.
Yeah, I'm 51. I'm 51.
You're 51. You're as spring as a chicken.
No, I'm not.
Some of
either.
those guys that you mentioned are older than you.
No, they're not. I'm older than them.
Well, I just said that, hoping to get a good reaction.
Well, actually, Al Steele is my same age. I think he might be 6 months older than me.
If Dale is still able to get in the ring and hit people with steel chairs, you can still do it.
Yeah.
I cannot legally,
I got him
sir.
a couple of years ago up in Indiana with a steel chair.
I saw it. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's on Crusher Bones
Smacked
Forever
him-
YouTube channel.
Smacked him twice.
That's right.
Got to get his attention. He was about ready to take Jimmy Lamb and bust him in half.
And also, Emily Rose,
What's wrong with me to do
the
that?
KWF heavyweight champion, is the prize to win at KWF. So when you're at KWF show and you see the championship belt that has that beautiful silver plate, that is the championship to go after. And the women's title has a beautiful plate as well, and it has a pink strap. That is KWF's second biggest prize right there for the ladies. And then you got on this table right here, you got the tag team championships with a beautiful purple strap and a beautiful custom plate itself.
Made him Europe.
Whew, yes it is. And they do some hellacious jobs right there on making these tiles look great. He designed them. That man right there that you see, J.R. Rock, he made these tiles look as perfect as they are.
This is no sheet metal, like maybe they
These
were
are
40
heavy-
and 50 years ago.
Heavy, legit belts. The
That's
first
right.
thing-
Yeah.
First thing Bobby did when I handed it to him is, "Why is this so heavy?"
Yeah, I was like, man, it was
for
legit
real.
heavy. Yeah,
It's for real.
yeah.
Now, the title tournament we were talking about starts on September 7th. The first 3 shows in Frankfurt at Thornhill will be the heavyweight title tournament. We have 16 participants. Not one. We'll do one side of the bracket. Not two. which will be a month later. We'll do the second part of the bracket, and then in November we will do the third leg of the bracket, and have the finals and crown a champion that night.
In November.
And each of these shows also will have a ladies' match.
Yes. And we'll also see stars such as Jack Vaughn from OVW in this heavyweight title tournament, along with the Mad Taylor Zodiac.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Who used to be this masked man behind me?
So we have a lot of top stars, past, present, and future, in this title tournament.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the veteran Jack Vaughn, go look him up. He's went viral on Facebook, on all of social media, actually,
He has.
for his thigh slap videos. And he's a great guy. I used to wrestle with him way back in the day when he first, I think it was he first started, and he was named Muldoon back then.
Yep.
And
From Northern Wrestling Federation.
yeah.
And who is the promoter, the trainer?
the man Roger Ruffin.
That's right.
Yep. Great guy. It's been a long time. I hadn't been on a show with him since Pro Wrestling Freedom down in Corbin. And I think that was the last time I was ever on a show with him. And he was still Muldoon then, so I haven't been on a show with him since he's been Jack Vaughn.
And I got to know him when he was Jack Vaughn.
He was down at the Caverna Super Show and worked down on that show.
Yeah,
This
people
last
loved him.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when that heavyweight belt is done, then he's going to start working toward the ladies tournament. And he's got some named ladies already said that they're going to be there, other than Amazing Maria and other than Big Mama.
We're going to try to have Tegan Thorne, Lexi Green, all the
Lexi
top female stars from the tri-state.
Hell yeah.
Larkin.
Miss
Larkin. Yeah, Miss Larkin. Lovely Miss
That's
Larkin.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but then there's others. So we're going to have a good group of girls to have an all-ladies tournament, and maybe we can get a ladies referee. Maybe your wife, Mrs. Blade.
Well, I mean, I can ask her.
Yeah, because she has refereed before,
She has.
and maybe we can get her to get her license next year when we have the ladies tournament. And
It'll
show
probably be
them.
the first of the year, January, February, when we're shooting
Yeah.
for the ladies tournament.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something to look forward to because KWF is already hot.
But we want the fans to get a taste of what we're about. So on the first show with the tournament, your ladies match. Second show with the tournament, ladies match. And not the same ladies. Each show is going to have different ladies. The third show will be the heavyweight title tournament. The fourth and fifth show, you're going to see some ladies on there and some ladies on there.
And not only will there be a ladies match on August 1st, we will also have some lady managers and honor Miss Elizabeth. The Dahlia will be managing Evil Nate, and we will have Rosalina Brake also at ringside managing a couple of the matches.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that's the free show coming up on August 1st at the Frankfurt Museum at 6 o'clock.
Capital City Museum.
Yep.
I am also excited for next Friday, August 1st, because that's the place to be. When I first heard that show announced, I said we gotta be there because you don't want to miss a show that is happening right there, Frankfort, Kentucky, for the Miss Elizabeth Museum. Because damn, 5 matches, you can't beat that. That's great talent that you're gonna see. You can even see all the names that's listed, like Evil Nate, Jacob Ratliff, all these people. You want to go and see that because I'm telling you right now, you won't be disappointed when you see every match because I'm telling you, that's gonna make you want to love KWF even more. And then after that, you got the Miss Elizabeth Drive-In Bill, which is gonna showcase not her wrestling career, but everything in between. That's gonna make you want to fall in love with Miss Elizabeth all over again. Cause damn it, I love her.
My goodness! Listen to Flavor Flav, the hype man, put the show over. Golly, Johnny,
That's what it's about.
that's a hell of a promo right there, man. You gotta get loud, make sure it gets put over and everything. So you're doing a great job right there, flapping your gums, running your mouth, and everything. But you know what you gotta do? You gotta turn up the volume. Turn up the volume when you're.
That's
putting
what you're gonna
something-
do when you get
There
on the
you go.
ring.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Cut the promo again. Put it back over with that volume.
Trying to think, why did Bobby Blade get in the Kentucky Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame to begin with?
Because I'm
Just kinda-
super over.
And not only do you get to see KWF and the drive-in showing, if you come to the museum that day from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., you can see the Miss Elizabeth exhibit. You can see her dress,
Hell yeah.
all the memorabilia from her career.
Hell, I can't wait for that either, because when we go there, I'm going to be checking that out.
Yeah, I've been there to see the exhibit, and it's really nice and everything. They've got some of her dresses, like she wore at WrestleManias, are in there. She's got some NWO jackets on display. There's a necklace that she wore at WrestleMania 3 on display in there, and a lot of pictures, and there's some, like, a video history and everything on
Hell
the
yeah.
on
So
screen
for
too.
those people that are listening to this podcast, we need to ask you, can you share these podcasts? When we come back for another show, can you follow us again? Can you help advertise, pass the word? You know, on these wrestling shows we're talking about, if you can tell anyone you know that's a wrestling fan, tell them about Kentucky Wrestling Federation. Tell them about tonight. You got Bobby Blade, J.R. Rock, and myself here talking about MWA, and, you know, help get the word out.
Now,
That's right, 3 legends.
I want to know, do they have the skirt from SummerSlam when she dropped the skirt?
They do not.
That's what I want to see. Because my eyes were bugging out of my head, just like Ted DiBiase's.
That's right.
She did that.
Because that was a first time in history of WWF right there. Woo!
Yeah, me and a couple of my buddies, we went and saw the museum, the exhibit at the museum, and then we went over and saw her grave.
Yes, up on the hill.
Yeah, and that was pretty cool to see. That was the first time I'd ever went to see that, you know. So, but the exhibit though, the exhibit is something else. I mean, some of them dresses, man, you wouldn't believe them, man. And them NWO jackets,
Awesome.
they're awesome. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
My biggest memories of her are when she dropped the skirt, the wedding dress with her and Randy,
Yeah.
and then that black floppy sweater when they get reunited at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Just running down, you know, that's
Oh,
my dream.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Donnie Green said, "Hello, guys. How's it going?"
Hey, Donnie Green, I just put you in a battle royal, so I hope you don't mind. I got you booked. Got you booked on August 1st in a Legends Battle Royal. So just get prepared, man. You got about a week.
I mean, if he gets inside of it, you got to get inside with him.
I can't.
It's a Legends Battle
I'm not
Royal.
booked. I'm not booked.
Yes, you are.
I'm
It's
not
on
booked,
social
Terry.
media.
You're a legend, though.
No, I'm not booked,
He's
Terry.
in the Battle Royal, isn't he?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I
His
mean,
name is on the poster.
I
too,
mean, you
for that
are on the
event.
poster.
That's too hot, and I'm too fat.
You can handle it.
I don't know about that.
Just pull on the old Simba.
No, I've got them. I took a picture with them today.
I saw them. You had those at the Hall of Fame thing you went to.
I did, yeah. Yeah,
I really like that belt that you had, the silver.
that wasn't me. That was Harrison Melton, Hitman Louie.
I really like that belt you had the picture of. I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. It's a USWA tag team championship. It's a replica of them, but it looks amazing. I mean, you know, because the thing was USWA. That was my goal to get to. I never got to do it because of reasons. But anyway, Dale knows. Well, you know too. I told you to. But anyway, it was cool to see that in person. You know, so I had to take a picture of it. So.
Donnie Green said, "I can't move in the ring anymore."
I think you might be telling a fib there, sir. I think that you'll do just fine in this battle royal. You might even win it.
He'll be surprising.
Couple stunners.
He can
Yeah.
pitch some people over the top rope.
And he is an honest man.
Yeah, honest Donnie Green.
That's right.
Yep. Oh man.
Like MWA, KWF, all this great history that Kentucky wrestling has.
Yeah.
A lot of people have slept on it for so long, but now they're starting to see, oh shit, maybe Kentucky is legit.
Kentucky's always been legit. You know, everybody, you know, talked about Kentucky like it was just some kind of like second-class citizen, you know, back in the day. But it wasn't. It was always, you know, on top of there. You know,
That's right.
For a long time, everybody worked the Memphis style, and you know, and as the talent got younger, they didn't want to work that Memphis style anymore.
Yeah.
So then when PWF came along down in Corbin, that was like a super indie show, and the style statewide changed.
Yeah.
You know, so we rebuilt with that style. And
It couldn't have been too super indie because they booked me off.
you were on the first couple shows, right?
Yes, me and Zodiac had that tag team strap match against Jimmy Clough and Justin Turner on one of the
crap.
shows.
Was that the night that Dutch Mantell was the referee?
Yes.
Okay. Now let me tell you a story about that. The video guy, I won't name him because he doesn't like me. He is not a fan of Memphis style wrestling. He was a fan of like Ring of Honor style wrestling and everything. Okay. So we have, I do the Wolf Den segment, which if you haven't seen a Wolf Den, back in the day, it was like a Piper's Pit, type thing. There was always some kind of shenanigans going on it, back in the day. These days, it's very different. But so I have Dutch Mantell on the Wolf Den, and we're going back and forth, just jabbing at each other, verbal jabs back and forth and everything. And then something comes out. It was Jimmy and Justin came out and interrupted Dutch Mantell because he grabbed me or something. He was threatening me with a whip. That's what it was. Threatening me with a whip. Here comes Jimmy and Justin. They come out to stop everything. Here you all come out. Bibbity bibbity bip. You get right into it. And Dutch Mantell was a special referee, and I just kind of went back to commentary after that. Well, being that the videographer was not a fan of mine or Memphis style wrestling, he decided to leave all that footage completely off the DVD when it released.
Well, that makes him a shithead then.
Yeah.
Whoever you are, videographer, you're a shithead. Fuck you.
He is a fucking
Yeah,
shithead.
I can tell you his name if you want me to.
Yeah, you tell
Aaron
me.
Bird. Aaron Bird, he's a piece of trash.
Fuck you, Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you, Aaron Bird.
Hey, that would have been a good video to see because me and Zodiac suplexed Jimmy Clough.
Yep.
Exactly.
How many times have you anybody seen that happen?
Yep. But the thing is, though, is he left my Wolf Den segment off of there, and he left the match off of there, but then he left on the part where after the match was over with, Dutch Mantell cuts the promo.
That was a good match.
I know, and it's advertised on the front of the DVD.
He went into business for himself,
Yeah.
that fucking idiot.
Yeah, and the promoter at the time, he was livid when he got the copy of this.
I'm sure he was.
Yeah.
I would be too, because you don't go into business for yourself.
Yep.
As a rule about professional wrestling, you be professional, don't be a fucking dickhead.
Yep.
That was a keynote match on that show that
Yeah.
we've been building and plugging that for a while.
Yeah, that was the blow off.
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
last match. But I mean, seriously, the thing was I don't know. He's not the promoter. He's not the booker. He was the videographer. You do what the promoter and booker wants you to do.
Exactly.
Even if you don't like it or you don't agree with it, or you're not a fan of it, you still do what they pay you to do. And and the thing was that was one of the major matches on the show, and it should have been included on there as well.
Yes.
Now, if he wanted to, he could have left my part out and put you all in there, but the whole match is gone.
Yeah, you
And the
can't-
Wolf Den segment.
you can't
I would have
make
fired his
the
ass.
match that's on the cover of the DVD.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
You fired a motherfucker after he does something
He,
like
he did
that.
get fired.
He deserved that.
He did get fired, huh?
That was the last match of the night.
No, that wasn't the last match of the night. It was like halfway in, but that was the last match of their feud.
Has he
Yeah.
done anything
Yeah,
else in
blow-off
the
match.
business?
I think he might do a podcast now, but I think that's
A
So after
shitty
that, he was
podcast.
Done.
yeah.
After that, okay.
And just
As
so
far
you-
as I know.
Just so you know, Bobby, Donnie said after he got in the ring with us and trained, he said he was dying the next day.
Yeah.
Did he say that?
Oh, there
Yep,
were
he
people
did.
throwing up at
Yes.
at his training session. There was more than one person that was throwing up.
Hey, that
He
happens
worked
though.
them good.
I mean, it ain't a good training session if he ain't working on the
I
puke
didn't-
up.
I didn't do anything. I just stood.
I
That's what he
was
said.
wanting to be there for this, but I actually became sick, and I was sick for about 3 weeks, and I was all messed up, and I wanted to be there on that day to see this. I hardly ever get sick, and I had a good one hit me for about 3 weeks. But,
And
yeah,
Jane says that she puked up her guts after the training session. She said
at
that
least
was
3
pretty.
times.
Yeah.
At least.
That's the way I did for Dale Mann as well. When him and all the other guys were retraining me, I ended up puking several times and everything because that was a different world. Going from SWA and where I started at and everything, and then going to MWA was totally different world.
Yeah.
Totally different world.
What's good, dude, Browning?
Going on, dude.
Has he fixed his Facebook page yet?
Nope, not yet.
We need to see you down at the museum on August 1st, Andrew.
That's right, dude, Browning. You gotta be there August 1st. Frankfort, Kentucky, at the Miss Elizabeth Museum.
Capital City Museum.
Yes.
It's on Ann Street. I can remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Miss Elizabeth show
Yep.
at the Miss Elizabeth exhibit at the Capital City Museum.
Yes.
325 Ann Street.
Yes.
I was drawing a blank there for a moment.
Yes, I know. Like normal.
Come on, Bobby.
Oh!
I'm gonna book you to wrestle Marty Clay just for that.
Where you gonna book me to wrestle Marty Clay at?
I got my connections.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
With Kentucky Wrestling Federation.
Yeah,
We're gonna have it in the studio.
yeah.
I'm doing a roll-up.
It's gonna be a studio brawl. We're gonna ban roll-ups so that you have to do it.
Call Marty, tell him to drive across town. We'll have the match right now.
No.
That's right.
Hey, CJ Current's watching.
Hell yeah.
Tommy Green.
What's up,
Yep.
Tommy
Good.
Green?
Yeah, I love Tommy Green.
Tommy Green's the man.
Yep. Yep, definitely is.
His family's
Hey,
been
Ted.
associated with the MWA and Georgetown Wrestling like for years.
The dude-
For like 40 years probably. When I showed up in Georgetown in 76 or 77, Greens were already there.
Well, the
Donnie
whole,
Green Sr. was already there. And
Yeah.
then Bobby was soon to follow.
nearly the whole Green family ended up wrestling, right? Yeah, almost all of them. Yeah, it was kind of like the Von Erichs of
Four
Kentucky
or
almost.
five of them all total.
Big Bobby,
Every one
Big
of them.
Donnie, Little Bobby, Little Donnie, Ronnie, Sammy, Tommy,
Yeah.
Lexi.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Bunch of them.
Rosie
And Buddy.
Green, but she's not a Green relative.
Did you say Rooster?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Rooster.
Rooster.
Yeah.
Forgot about him.
Yep. I liked Rooster.
Rooster Ronnie.
Rooster was really cool. I wrestled all of the older generation of the Greens. Tommy, Bobby, and Donnie. Wrestled all of them, and we did a thing with with Big Donnie.
Donnie was great.
Golly,
He was a
we
great
were,
person.
We were doing something, and I think we might have been beating up Donnie Jr. And I think it was me and Bear, maybe Al, or something like that. We're just beating up Donnie Jr. Well, Big Donnie comes up out of the crowd, takes that belt off, clears all of his loops, and starts swinging the belt. And and he's swinging it for all he's worth. And like he's not swinging with the belt in, he's swinging with the belt
With a
buckle.
buckle in.
Yep. So we're sitting, he's swinging it at us, and we're just trying not to get hit. So we're ducking and bobbing and weaving and all that stuff. I jump out of the ring. I was like, I ain't getting hit. Well, I got hit anyway because he was swinging over the top rope at us. Man, golly, dude, and then there was we did something. I think Bear got him from behind, and then he grabs his chest, and then he goes down on the buckle and he's just grabbing his chest, and I'm like, we kind of get in there and we kind of like we're cornering him in the buckle, and he's down, grabbing his chest, and we go, is he having a heart attack? Well, let's get him! And then we started stomping on him and everything, and Joyce jumps up and she starts crying. He's
Mama
like, give me
Bruner.
my nitro pills, give me. That was Donnie Sr. was the best, man. And the funny thing is he would just sit there and he knows something's getting ready to happen. And he just start going,
Yeah.
just belly laughing, And like he would leave, I always carried out a bottle of water. And one of my fears is spiders. I'm deathly afraid of spiders.
Same.
Noted.
Well, no. Big Donnie went and bought a bag of plastic ring spiders. Okay? My water is sitting on the corner under a turnbuckle. Something's going on in the ring. They get into a rest hold. I turn to the crowd, blah, 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 blah. What about your boy now? This and that and all that. I turn around, I go grab my water, and I go to take the lid off of it, and I feel something. And I look at it, and there's a plastic ring spider on it. I slung my water all the way across the room. I was like, oh my gosh. There was one time I went out and I wrestled a match, and I came back and I go get changed. I'm getting changed in my street clothes, and I take my boots off and I go to put my shoe on, and there's a shoe completely filled with shaving cream.
Yep.
So I try to no-sell it, and I'm just kind of looking around. But I'm pissed. I'm looking around, and I see Donnie over in the corner just sitting there going,
I went through that years ago when I was wrestling. with the MWA.
Yeah.
And it was Ron Starr that got me.
Ron got you too.
Yeah, you know those white boots?
Yeah.
Yep. You know, he filled up one all the way, and I slid that thing on, and as soon as my foot hit it, I was like, you know, looking around, seeing who's watching me. He was the only one watching me, and he just had this smile.
We did that to Scotty Ray at PWF one night. When we had the dressing room up in the top.
Yeah.
We filled both his shoes up with the baby oil gel, and he came in. He slipped them both on, no sole, and just kept going. I was like, what? Like, how sweaty are his feet?
That's great.
In the past couple of shows that I was here, did it ever come up about what happened in Mount Sterling for the MWA pertaining to Donnie Green after he passed away? Did you ever hear that story?
With Vic?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did we talk about that?
Me
I
and
don't
Bobby
think
talked
you did.
about that last time.
Yep.
When
Oh, did
were
we?
on, we talked about it.
We did say about,
Me and him
It was
did.
me and Bobby did the show.
But
We
if they
talked
weren't watching, you know, go ahead and.
everybody was watching.
yeah, I was there in the ring with Vic the Bruiser, and he was cutting a promo, and he was going on, and this is right after Donnie Green Sr. passed away, and Donnie Green Jr. is in the back. And Vic and I are standing up there, and we're, you know, I've got the mic, and I'm holding the mic over next to his mouth so he can just talk freely. And Vic is just, yeah, the only good green is a dead green. And the crowd went silent, and I just
Yeah.
kind of leaned back, and I looked at Vic, and then I just went. I walked away, I backpedaled away from him about 3 or 4 feet, you know, and then he realized what he said. And I kept expecting it. Any minute now, somebody's going to start shooting him. I'm getting out of the way. You know, and then in the back, he said, I didn't even realize it. I did it. It sounded great. I just had a brain freeze. And, you know.
Until the building back got burned down.
And then the next show, the people were just rabid. He would step out there, and, you know, they were showing up with a noose, and they were wanting to kill Vic.
I thought they were going to kill him that night.
Oh, I mean, it just stunned everybody.
Yeah.
The ladies were disappearing out the side door outside, just crying up a storm, and, you know, people were just calling him the N-word and just carrying on, and, you know, Vic turned around and went in the back.
I want to take a second to give a shout out to the next generation of rock wrestlers. Luna Rock is at home watching right now. She's coming. She's getting there. She's already taking bumps. We had that training. The next day she's like, look, I can take a bump. I was on the bed doing
Heck
back
yeah.
bumps.
I understand
She's
she was
ready.
out there. She was out there at the training
She was
session,
in
I
the ring the whole
understand.
time with
Training them young.
With B-Money.
She was
coming.
taking bumps.
Luna Rock on
That's
the block.
awesome.
And she's in kindergarten. Couldn't you imagine?
Already?
She'll be in first grade next month. So
And
first grade.
Heck yeah.
to look at her with the other children, she's as big as the biggest ones or a little bigger than them. I mean, she's not fat. She's,
She's a head
Yeah.
taller than most of them.
yeah.
Really?
And could you imagine ticking her off? You know, after she's learning what she's learning from her father,
Yeah.
after
She's
all these
already
years.
got her moved down. Every time she gets mad, she's a hair pull and a chop.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's great.
Donnie Green said, Dad took Bear's underwear and soaked them and put them back in the bag.
Man, Donnie Sr. was legendary for, well, Donnie Jr. too, legendary for ribs.
We had itching powder that we would put in the boots and we'd sprinkle down in the bag so it would get in the clothes. Yeah. Itching powder.
You'd
You'd
look
be
up-
out there and you'd see the guys, you know,
Yeah.
like, what are you doing, a little rumba?
We got
Yep.
Chris Noble after a show one night in Irvin. We got him in the face with a chocolate cream pie.
That same guy that J.R. Rock kicked the ass up.
Bobby was here when I beat him up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
He broke the microphone. He owes the Nice Guy Andy podcast some money.
He does. Chris Noble does.
Yep. That's great.
But J.R. Rock whooped his ass and then cut that promo of what he's going to do at Converting Super Show. He ended up whooping Stan Sierra's ass with the strap. I think I saw tears in Stan's eyes.
I don't doubt it. Stiff as he is, golly.
Do you remember me telling you the tale years ago when I wrestled and I was Mr. Wrestling? No, I was doing Dale Bass back then, but I wore solid white. And it was, I know I told you, right? And it was at Camp Nelson. and I was against a guy called Doc Birchkoff, and I wore solid white, and I wanted to make sure I looked good. So the night before, I took my gear, my white tights with the nylon threads and everything, and I soaked them in Clorox. I'm a single guy. I don't know anything about wash, so I soaked them in Clorox, and I washed them and dried them out, and I put my gear on, and I got out there, and I went to lock up, and all of a sudden I felt my tights were just were starting to split. And from my trunks, which held it in, on the inside, all the way down to my boots, they split.
Oh, man.
And, and Doc Birchkoff got a hold of me, and next thing I know, he pulled on some of my gear, and my gears just started coming all off.
Was it the old K&H style tights? The old wool tights?
Yeah, I think they could have been.
Yep. My first pair of tights was K&H.
Because I think it was K&H.
Yep. I had a...
there wasn't very many people that made gear back then.
I know.
You could mail order the little K&H order catalog.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's where I got my boots from.
Yep.
You know what happened to my boots.
Yeah, I wound up with them. I got them from Jimmy Lamb. I got them, and they ended up busting apart on me in the middle of a match.
I lent them to somebody, which I don't even remember who, because I think at that time I was announcing, and somebody said, "I need a pair of boots," and I said, "Well, you can wear mine." And I lent them to somebody, and I never got them back.
Well.
And then years later, I'm finding out, oh, Bobby Blade's got a set. I think you were the one that told me that I have a set of boots, and it's got your name in them.
Yep.
There's my lost boots.
Yep.
Bobby Blade's got my lost boots.
Yep. They were worn out and in bad shape when I got them, but it was my first pair of boots that I ever had, and
it was my first pair of boots I ever had. Was solid white.
And I was wrestling, and then all of a sudden it just started coming apart in the ring, and then all of a sudden, the longer the match went on, the less boot I had on.
That was Baby in Turn, Mr. Wrestling Jr., and Dale Bass. I wore those boots for all my characters.
I blew a whole sole off one of my boots up in Indiana last year, I think it was.
Oh, geez.
I was there with you, wasn't I? Because you showed me that, and I was like, what the world is that? It's the whole bottom of his boot came off.
Then I went out and wrestled in another match with only one boot heel.
How many gimmicks have you had over your career?
I've been JR Rock my whole career. I did the Insurgents thing with the Muhammad Mustafa, and then I've thrown a mask on to do a job or something if we need it, but that's
Nippler.
And the sucks there, as you admitted.
He's the nippler.
Shh. Aunt Kay's still in the house.
it. Yeah.
He's wrestled that guy.
I understand Nippler might be in the Battle Royal for Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
When I first started, Danny Fargo asked me if I had an idea or what I wanted to be, and I said, yeah. I said, I've been backyard wrestling for 2 years as JR Rock. This is my character. He's like, okay, you're JR Rock. And the guy I started with, he's like, well, I was this and that. I don't really know. He said, okay, you're the graduate. You're a generic genius. So I got to be my character, and he got to hop around from gimmick to gimmick because he didn't know what he wanted to be when he started.
Hell yeah.
Did he stick around to make a name for himself?
He wrestled probably 6 or 7 years, and then he retired. He was the graduate, and then he became Tommy Lotion, the smoothest guy alive.
Oh.
Then he became King.
Sounds like a gay gimmick, doesn't
Then
it?
he
Yeah.
became King Thomas Lotion III, and then he finally retired.
I
Do you ever hear of that name?
I know who the graduate is. I
Bobby
know who the
knows him.
graduate is.
Bobby knows him.
Yeah.
I don't.
I was almost called Gigolo Johnny Eaton when I first started. Yeah.
Gigolo Johnny?
Now,
Gigolo Johnny
I
Eaton.
tried to get Tommy Lotion a tag team partner one time, and it was going to be Tommy Lotion and whatever his partner's name was. His last name was going to be Lubriderm, so it was going to be Lotion and Lubriderm.
Yeah.
I feel a Cecil Balls show moment coming on for this.
But we were trying to come up with something. You know, he was like, "You got any ideas?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, he started steamrolling names and everything, and there was like a Russian gimmick in there, and I'm like, "No," and all that stuff. So he came up with Gigolo Johnny Eaton, and I'm like, "Okay." I said, "How do you want me to do it?" And he's like, "You go out and you swivel your hips and and all that stuff," and I'm like,
Nah.
"Okay, sounds great." And then eventually we settled on Bobby Blade.
But did
However-
you ever go out and do it?
I wish
No,
you could
not
have been
that.
the Gigolo.
No.
Oh, man.
I was, let's see, I was going to be Gigolo Johnny Eaton. Wound up with Bobby Blade. First, I was Pretty
Well,
Boy.
Who came up with Bobby Blade? Was that not you?
Kinda, sorta. Because when I first started wrestling,
That's what I've always known you as,
yeah,
Bobby Blade.
I used to carry a knife around, and people would call me Blade as a nickname.
Okay.
Yeah.
My mom's name was Barbara, and her nickname
Was
Bobby. Yeah. So there you go.
Hell
Bobby
yeah.
Blade. But so I actually started off as Pretty Boy Bobby Blade.
Okay, I remember that.
At one point, I was the Iraqi bastard.
Nice.
I don't remember
that.
that.
Was just one. That was just one shot only.
Okay.
Let's see. I was the medic. Let's see. I was the medic. I was Pretty Terrific Bobby Blade. I was
Hell yeah.
the king of rock and roll Bobby Blade, in which I came out and did a gimmick where I carried a guitar and had a cowboy hat and brought out like a speaker and everything.
That must have been one time then.
No, this was for a little while.
For who?
For just like Joe and Chris, Crazy Davis
Yeah.
Boys. It was for them, MCW and everything. So I would go out and I would bring the speaker out, and I would, this whole night, hey, later on tonight I'm going to perform a song for you, and I'm going to sing for y'all and everything, blah, blah, blah. I go and, I have my match, and, and whatever would happen in the match, and then I come out and say, all right, y'all ready to hear me sing? I'd plug up the, they boo and all that stuff. I'd plug the guitar into the speaker, and the speaker didn't work. But I would have a guy run in just as soon as I was getting ready to strum the guitar. Whoa, 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 whoa. We've got, this the building is not zoned for entertainment, music entertainment, blah, 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 or the fire marshal has determined that your equipment is not up to speed, so they would always stop it, and so I would never sing a song. But that lasted for a little while. Of course, I was Simba, which was probably, I did that for 6 months, but here it is like 30 plus years later, and people still remember it.
Yeah.
And I still get people yelling Simba at me. at
That's
shows.
right.
And like I said, I only did it for 6 months. And the only reason I stopped doing it was because the face paint that I was using ended up staining my face orange. So I had to, and it would like start breaking it out.
After
and everything.
you took the paint off your face still showed where it was.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And sometimes it would be several days, without being able to get it all off.
You had to do a shoot job.
and then eventually, I ended up going back to Pretty Terrific Bobby Blade after that, and then I did the thing with NDX, which was Angel and Suicide and me. We were Angel, Suicide, and Blade. So they ended up turning on me, kicking me out of the group. So then I was Lone Wolf Bobby Blade, and that's what I kept all the way up until now.
Hell yeah.
And as Lone Wolf, I was able to create my persona with the Lone Wolf character.
Which you were kind of like in between baby, in between heel. You liked everybody liked you, or everybody hated you.
I hated everybody, and then they all hated me. It was kind of like a Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of. A little
That's
bit different.
right.
And that's
But anyway.
that's what I did too. I had the evolution of J.R. Rock over the
Yeah.
years.
But you can see, there's different eras of my gimmick and all that stuff, and eventually it led up to Lone Wolf Bobby Blade, and that's the one I chose to build on, and that's what I stayed, all the way up until the end of my wrestling career and all that. So, and plus that was the most successful one, I'd say.
It's not the end
Smart
of his career 'cause
decision.
he's wrestling in that battle
That's what I
royal,
did.
Miss
I am
Elizabeth.
I am not wrestling in this battle
It's
royal.
booked. I even saw it online.
When I
We're booking
started,
you against a spider.
I was more like a punk grunge rock kind of J.R. Rock guy with
I
the
remember
beanie
that.
and the black
Yep.
band T-shirts and the cut-off shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Then I transitioned. I was like, I'm gonna get some tights and boots, and it was like flashy neon pink tights and a singlet. Then I went and got some dark colored gear, tights and a top. That's when I brought the strap in and started doing a more hard-hitting style. Did that. Then
Yeah, you did.
Nice.
But where did the skirt originate from?
Bobby Blade.
What?
So it wasn't long after I started in Georgetown. It was probably 2011, 2012. For a Halloween show, he was going to be Roddy Piper, and I brought my kilt, but it wasn't red, so he didn't want to use it. And then him and Scotty Ray were like, we were to go out there and wrestle in that kilt. And I was like, think so.
You bought it. You brought it in for him to
He was the
use,
dress of his Roddy Piper.
and they said no, so you ended up wearing it
Yeah.
Yeah.
and wearing it.
Yeah, and then I put the kilt on, and then I became the Furnace Mountain Madman, the killer in the kilt, the Gargamel, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
with the
Gargamel.
strap, and
Yeah.
that's what I've been doing ever since.
Yeah.
Guys, can you believe that we've been on here 2 hours and 5 minutes?
Have we?
When
Yeah.
I first met JR, he had the skirt on, and I think it was
Now, we
probably
met-
Hardcore Championship
we met
Wrestling.
pre-skirt. I didn't start wearing the skirt till after I started wrestling in Georgetown.
Okay.
When we met with Daryl, I had the black tights and the black top with the cutoff sleeves, and it just got the strap.
Because when I went back to work for Daryl again, and you were already there feuding with Zodiac.
Yes, I was doing the black and black with the strap. I just started using
Okay.
the strap. That was around 2006, 2007, is when I started using the strap and doing the hard-hitting, high-impact style wrestling.
Y'all want to say y'all's goodbyes?
I want to put over where I'm going to be
That's
at, if
right.
you don't mind. Do you mind real quick?
Yes.
Okay, this
I mean, we have to
Saturday.
end this?
Yeah, this Saturday and Sunday I'm not available for bookings because Stephanie, my future wife, also Jordan Cage's legitimate cousin, we will. Yeah, she's
Really?
yeah, they're cousins, yeah.
Nice.
Did not know that.
Yeah, so like if we get married, when we get married and everything, I'll be cousin-in-laws with Jordan Cage. So he's not only my best friend in the whole wide world, he's going to be my future cousin-in-law as well. So anyway, I'm not available for bookings this Saturday and Sunday because it is Stephanie and I, my 1-year anniversary. So yeah, we will be celebrating that this weekend, and it's going to be amazing. Going to have a fun time. July the 31st.
But you've been with Stephanie for a lot longer than 1 year.
Yeah, but official for 1 year.
Well, unofficially, I remember you and her in MWA days longer ago.
At least
Yep.
15.
35 years is how long.
35 years?
We've known each other for 35 years, but we've been official for 1 year. So
Vicky was with me for 36 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So about the time I met Vicky is about the time that you met Stephanie.
yeah,
Oh.
something like that. So anyway, July the 31st, I will be with the EWA in Richmond, Kentucky at the Madison County Fairgrounds. Come see us. Admission is free with paid fair admission. August the 9th, I will be back with the EWA once again for Prime 17, Danville, Kentucky, Jenny Rogers Community Center. August the 10th, I will be on the C.J. Howard Sports Talk Show. August the 16th, I will be back once again with the EWA in Harrodsburg, Kentucky for Pioneer Days. August the 24th, I will be with Appalachian Mountain Wrestling for Sunday Showdown, Corbin, Kentucky at the Corbin Civic Center. Don't miss that one, a huge showdown taping that night with Carlito on the card. Making his debut for AMW, September the 6th. I will be back with AMW once again at the King of the Mountains at the Breathitt County High School in Jackson, Kentucky. September 7th, I will be on hand officially for the first time with the Kentucky Wrestling Federation.
Yeah.
Frankfort, Kentucky, Thornhill Education Center. September 13th, I will be back with the Elite Wrestling Alliance in Danville, Kentucky at the Jenny Rogers Community Center. September 16th, I am not available for bookings. Don't ask why. September
Why?
18th, I will be back with Appalachian Mountain Wrestling for a house party. Excuse me, in Hyden, Kentucky. September 20th, I will be back with AMW for Bluegrass Brawl in Pikeville, Kentucky. September 21st, I will be with Generation Next Pro Wrestling Legends Never Die in Paris, Kentucky at the Bourbon County High School. A lot of legends going to be on hand for that night for a big convention earlier in the day and a great show that night. September 27th, I will be back for AMW for another showdown taping in Pineville, Kentucky. October the 4th, excuse me, I'm blown up. October the 4th, I'll be back for Generation Next Pro Wrestling for Uproar in Cynthiana, Kentucky at the City Hall Gym. October the 5th, I will be back for Kentucky Wrestling Federation, Frankfort, Kentucky, Thornhill Education Center. October the 11th, I will be back for the Elite Wrestling Alliance, Danville, Kentucky at the Jenny Rogers Community Center. October 16th, I will be in the house for Appalachian Appalachian Mountain Wrestling for Showdown Halloween in Jenkins, Kentucky, October 17th through the 19th. I will not be available for bookings. Don't ask why. November the 2nd, I will be in the house for Kentucky Wrestling Federation, Frankfort, Kentucky, Thornhill Education Center. November the 8th. Oh, man, I got a tickle in my throat.
You think they'll finally figure out what's been wrong with them all these years?
No, they haven't yet.
All
November the 8th.
stuffed up.
I'll be back in the house for the EWA, Danville, Kentucky, Jenny Rogers Community Center. November 22nd, back in the house once again with Dale for the Appalachian Mountain Wrestling Thanksgiving Turmoil War Games in Hazard, Kentucky. December the 6th, Generation X Pro Wrestling Last Stand, Cynthiana, Kentucky at the City Hall Gym. December the 13th, EWA, Danville, Kentucky, Jenny Rogers Community Center, January 3rd, 2026. Generation X Pro Wrestling Breakout, Cynthiana, Kentucky, City Hall Gym, February the 7th, 2026. Generation X Pro Wrestling, the Generational Invitational 2, Cynthiana, Kentucky, City Hall Gym. March the 7th, 2026, Generation X Pro Wrestling Awakening, Cynthiana, Kentucky, City Hall Gym. April the 4th, 2026, Generation Next Pro Wrestling 5th Anniversary Show, Cynthiana, Kentucky, City Hall Gym. Come see me while I'm still alive.
He wants to sell us a car, I swear.
Superfly, do we have a tank of oxygen here to give him? Or
need
we need to
We
call
just might have
911.
to. We just might have to.
You didn't get booked that much when you were wrestling.
Yeah,
Let me tell you.
you're more famous now than you were when you were in the ring.
Well, let me tell you something. I mean, and this is truth right here. When I was wrestling my first 10 years, I did all the traveling and all that stuff, and I was getting booked quite a bit. And then it slowed down around 2000. And then it, became, the regular independent schedule and everything. However, when I started making the comeback for commentary in 2023, I got booked, a couple times a month, and then it started picking up, and then it started picking up more, and now it seems like every week I've got like multiple shows, multiple appearances and stuff like that, or a podcast to do, or something like
Well,
that.
you got 4 or 5 different promotions you're mentioning in that long spiel, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
That was 4 promotions, but there's like 40 dates right there.
Well, it's hard to find good commentators.
I know
Not
it is.
land.
That's
It
right.
is. And the thing is I'm very thankful to be able to do commentary with the people that I'm doing commentary with now. Like at EWA, we do a regular shows. We do a 2-man booth, me and Aaron Rose, and then on the big shows we do a 3-man booth, me, Aaron Rose, and Triple Balls. And then at Generation Next, I do commentary with Nick MWA.
Yep.
And then at AMW, I'm kind of like a fill-in there. Like the normal commentary team is Rated X and JR and Gary Ward, G-Man. But
J.R. Everett, he used to do commentary for
Yeah.
Daryl Fugit.
yeah, if one of them can't make it, then I step in there. I'll move in there or something like that. So, I'm hoping that I'm really hoping I'm doing commentary on November 22nd. Because that's the night that my old buddy Carl Anderson's going to be in town.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, actually, the Good Brothers are going to be on the show that night. So
You gonna make him finally give you the title back?
I'm going to message him and see if he's going to bring it or not. I hope he does. If he does, that'd be great.
You think he'll remember it?
Oh, he sends me pictures every now and then. And what we're talking about, if you haven't watched the show before, the MWA light heavyweight title. When it first switched over from the junior heavyweight championship to the light heavyweight championship, Danny Fargo had a new belt made up because the old belt was pretty rough around the edges at that point. So he switched it. I was the first guy to actually hold that version of the title, and so I consider that my baby. Well, before they switched that belt out for a newer belt, Carl Anderson was the guy that had it. So I've been asking him, for the last, 10, 15 years, if he could, if he would mind, bringing the belt back to me or something like that, if I could have it, because I consider it my baby. It's in terrible condition now, terrible condition. But it means so much to me, that I would love to have it back. he'll send me pictures of him holding it hostage.
Yeah.
And he'll say, you'll never get this belt back. You'll never see this belt ever again. And he says, I'll take this belt out to the middle of a field and I'll blow it to pieces, and stuff like that. But he'll send, every now and then he'll send me a picture. Not very often anymore, but he'll send a picture, with the belt or something like that, showing me it's in bad condition and all that.
Hell yeah.
But if he was to bring it, I want to see him because he's my buddy. I ain't seen him, since he made it big. But, so I'll be, overjoyed just to see him. But if he was to bring me the belt and give it to me, I'd be the happiest man in the world.
That's right.
If he doesn't bring it to me, that's fine. We're still
That'll be the
friends.
greatest moment of his life, number 2.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dale Bass.
Definitely just going deeper and deeper down the list.
That's right. But Dale Bass, you want to give your see you laters?
The people don't know me. I've been in the business for 50 years, owned many circuits, part owner of many circuits, done just about every job there is in the wrestling business, from refereeing to wrestling all the way through. And currently I run the Kentucky Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame that I took over here a couple of years back. And I am part owners of what's going to be the best wrestling promotion in the state of Kentucky, Kentucky Wrestling Federation. And my co-owner, who now is going to take the mic, is J.R. Rock.
It's me, everybody. Joe Rock, thanks. Goodbye. No, I'm just joking. Come out and see us August 1st. We're going to have a great show. Help support the museum. Help support the local community. We've got lots of shows coming up. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube. We hope everybody comes out and sees us. You'll see Bobby Blade August 1st in the Battle Royal.
That's right.
I can guarantee I'm
Yeah.
not in the battle royal.
Yeah, I saw it on the thing here. It said that he
Yeah,
was
I
booked.
saw it
I saw
too.
it on there, yeah.
Well, guys, I want to thank you to everyone that's been tuning in tonight, everyone that's left comments, everyone that has been excited about MWA, because we're still going to be doing so much more talking about MWA, because we're going to be getting more people that have worked there to come in and talk about it. And we might get Del Bass come back to talk some more about it.
We got to
Bobby
share
Blade
the
as well.
podcast. Got to share the
And
podcast.
Chucky Smooth, Donnie Green, Bear Steele, Al Steele. There's so many people that's going to be coming here because, damn it, I want to continue to be able to teach people that Kentucky had one of the greatest promotions that has never, ever been forgotten. And that promotion's name is Mountain Wrestling Association. And if you haven't known, well, you're going to know. If you ain't having fun, you ain't getting none. Damn, Stippy. Yeet, yeet. Nice.